What is going on, folks? Will Turbid here, aka the one and only true reincarnation of L. Ron Hubbard and rightful and sole heir to all of his mansions, Lambos, and pool parties. Fake Mike! Real news. Oh shit, I think I broke the whisk on that one. I'm animated today. I had some green tea, guys. Take a break from the caffeine, they said, and I did. Try to let your body develop some natural caffeine, and I'm doing that. All right, we're back to the Friday Fun Show. We've got some panelists with us. It's going to be awesome. And we've got some interesting questions. We're going to be joined by a few more guests as we go. And if you're just joining, of course, like, share, and subscribe. Let's see what we've got here with us. We're multicasting on a number of platforms now. So unfortunately, we'll only be able to see if you comment on YouTube. Get your questions or comments in there. Links will be updated in the description. Today, we're going to be talking about men's image and the female mindset and how those two things intersect, or more correctly, do not intersect in this modern world. And I think men's image is the most important thing, because especially if you're not a high value man, if you're not somebody that hasn't accomplished a bunch of things and are super rich and 6'4" and got a dope chin. Notice that's why I have a beard, because I don't have a cool angular jaw like that. It's just like right here, just cuts completely off. So if you don't already have that, though, the image is the one thing that a man has. Your image is the only thing. It's your brand, right? It's what you present to the world. It's how you display people. And it's not just for women. It's for potential business product partners or anything that you want to accomplish. You want to be in the band, you got to dress the part, right? So we're going to be talking about men's image today for sure. I remember back in the day, dudes wore suits like all the time. I know a dude, his father was a butcher back in the day, and every morning he would go up, put on a suit, get the cufflinks going on, go to work, massacre a bunch of animals. They didn't have vegans back at that time. It was really unfortunate. But yeah, and then he would go and boom, he'd come back out, have a suit. People thought he was a doctor. So guys, share the video if you're just joining us. Thank you, Tommy, for getting that out there. I'm gonna put some updated links for our guest here. I would like to say welcome to Alexia and Bola. Thank you, ladies, for joining. Alexia, let's start with you, because you were there first, but I sent you the link a little bit early, so it's not a competition there. Tell people a little bit about yourself, and yeah, what you want to promote today is also.
Okay, so my name's Alexia. As you said, I'm 23. I was born and raised in Rhode Island. Left for a little bit, went to Syracuse where I studied political science. And then during COVID, I joined the Rhode Island National Guard and have been basically on order since. I'm right now in Maryland at Fort Meade. And I wanted to promote my nonprofit. It's called Foster Hope Adopt a Dream, where I advocate for children in foster care. I myself was adopted at the age of 8, so it's something that's super close to my heart. And getting out education and the stories of these children is super important to me.
So you want to get the word out about these kids, and the idea is to try to get them adopted. Is that correct?
Yes, to get them adopted, to understand the mindset. There's over 500,000 kids in foster care within our nation.
Wow.
And 25% of those kids end up with PTSD. Only 1 out of 4 kids that are in foster care are going to end up receiving higher education, like an associate's or a bachelor's degree, never mind the crazy statistics after that. So it's something that I like to raise awareness for. I know I was extremely fortunate to make it out of the foster system and find a loving home with a family who is absolutely phenomenal. They supported every one of my dreams, but I want to give back to ensure that I no longer have to say I'm one of the few children that made it out, but one of the many.
Wow, that's awesome and quite admirable, and we'll definitely be promoting that. And hopefully, we can have a stream in the future where you come on and only promote that. That would be awesome. And yeah, so she's down in Maryland, home of the NSA. I don't know if you guys remember the video we did with the NSA. Oh yeah, you didn't, because they deleted it out of our cell phones. That was pretty crazy. Well, we might talk about that later. That's a I don't want to get. Well, we're gonna keep it late. It's Friday. We don't want to get you in trouble. Maybe. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. That's a crazy whole nother thing. And we also are joined by Bola. Bola, thank you very much. She's an author and influencer, and somebody that has hit the talk show circuits a bunch. So I figured, hey, if she's hitting these other shows, she might as well fall for mine. So Bola, thank you very much for graciously coming on today. Tell people about yourself, and also about your book, Daily Soul Bites.
Thank you for having me, Will. It's nice to be here. Yes, I am an author and a coach. I'm also a Reiki energy practitioner based here in London, UK. And my book, Daily Soul Bites, has just been released by Balboa Press, a division of A House. And it's really about empowering us to live as empowered beings as opposed to victims. So I share 31 nuggets of inspiration and wisdom, and it's about perspectives of the higher self, because we only become empowered when we become familiar with these perspectives. And the more familiar we are, the more we can practice them. And it's about love, it's about unconditional love, really becoming much more aware of those parts of us that require our own unconditional love. Because at the end of the day, it all starts with us. And this is about transformation and aligning to those higher perspectives to enable us to walk and do everything we do as empowered beings. So it's available on Amazon and anywhere books are sold online at the moment.
Yeah, I really am interested. I just met you, so I haven't got a chance to get the book yet. I am going to purchase it after this stream. So, and guys, you guys already know the drill. The links are in the description. So support Alexia, support Bola. This is why we do this. I could have sold out like a loser. I could have threw on a pound of makeup and had the military industrial complex and big pharma up my butt. I could have sat there covered up for Jeffrey Epstein, told lies about weapons of mass destruction, but I didn't, because why would you want to put makeup on this beard? But in all seriousness, these are the people that don't sell out. These are the people that don't sacrifice their integrity and are actually giving a gift back to humanity. So the least we can do is stand on their shoulders and help them get out the word. So please, everyone, help Alexia and Bola as well. And Bola, I think that's awesome. And thank you, Tommy, for putting their links up there. They will be in the description as well. Yeah, Bola, I think it's, for the longest time, I woke up, if you call that. I mean, that word's been destroyed for a long time now. But I came to the understanding that things weren't like I was told in kindergarten, roughly damn near 20 years now. Cheese and crackers, that's been a while. And at first I was like, okay, sure, I'll just memorize enough facts and then I'll yell them at people and point the finger at them, and the world's changed. Don't worry, great. But what I found out later on is most people do not make decisions based on facts and logic. Rather, psychologically speaking, they make it on their emotions and their feels. So I was going about that the whole wrong way. And then I later realized, hey, we all have some unhealed trauma from when we were kids, even if we had the best of upbringing. And how am I going to tell people random facts about the Bilderberg group if these people can't even figure that out? So yes, Bola and Alexia, yeah, it definitely starts from within. So thank you guys for what you do. And now let's riff a little bit on, and I know you guys can take this from whatever angle you want, but I'm going to start it off with this. Let's talk about men's image in 2024, right? We have a lot of problems with dating, and one of the reasons I'm starting to do this is to cultivate gentlemen, to cultivate gentlewomen, and so that people don't have to rely on the government. They can rely on themselves and their family, especially in this crazy inflation that we have going on. What can you guys tell me about the average man's image in 2024? I mean, before we used to be, wearing suits and stand up straight. I got to get the chest out, chin up a little bit. What's going on with men's image in 2024?
Bola, do you want to go? I'll go. So I do agree with you on the way that I think just society has changed image-wise. I grew up in a very traditional household. Like, both my parents immigrated here from Portugal. Tradition was something that was like heavily instilled in me. My father, till this day, still walks out of the house with a tie on, no matter where he's going. And he set a great example. Him and my mom set a wonderful example on love and life and having a partner who's also your best friend. And as I started dating as I was older, I realized very quickly that that is just maybe not a normal thing. While it's something that I want and I still look for, it's not something that is instilled in everybody. And I think that's where this miscommunication, and as you see generations begin to change and evolve, maybe not in the direction that we hope that they do, it comes from a lack of traditional values.
Interesting. Bola, what's your take on that? And then I'll riff on what you guys said.
Well, I am a mother of two young men, My first son is 27 and my youngest son is 26. I will say that things are not the way they used to be. There is definitely a difference in cultures, um, depending on which part of the world you live in. So we would, I think that's the first thing I would say, that cultures are different. If you live in a patriarchal society, you would probably have a different perspective about the role that men play than if you lived in a matriarchal society. So it
Yeah.
would depend on those types of societies. That's the very first thing. Now, I will also say that I am not an expert in this. I would, I am more about looking at what are the similarities that we have as men and women, as opposed to what are the differences that we have. Because there is a lot of emphasis placed on the things we have that are different between us, whether it's color, whether it's race, whether it's gender. And it's important for us to begin to look at ourselves as beings, beings of light, whatever your gender, whatever your age, whatever your culture, because this is really where we're talking about oneness. But I take it this is the topic of today.
It is, and I'll get you guys both up to talk some more serious stuff. So, just a quick background. I've been pissing people off for damn near 20 years now in there, and I said, you know what? I finally got to the point where I was like, I need to have a little fun. Fridays are going to be the day that we wind things down a little bit, but also address some problems. I've been deleted off of Facebook and in this platform before in the past, and I want to address things from a different perspective. Like you, it took me a while to realize you kind of figured out. Oh, I unlike you, I should say. It took me a while to realize where I want to go with things. So I'm trying to actually. I thought I was being direct in the first place. I'm trying to be more direct. And a great quote that I wanted to actually start the show with is by George Adair, and he says, "Everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear." Say that again, FEAR. Everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. I'll never get that job. Oh my God, that's Paul McCartney. He's one of the Beatles from Liverpool. I should go ask him for his autograph. I've been playing bass for many years. Nah, I could never. Oh man, look at that girl over there. She's so pretty. I would love to talk to her and take her on a date, but I don't know. What if she thinks of it? Everything that you want is on the opposite side of fear. So that's what I'm trying to do, is to try to have people grab life by the horns a little bit and do the right thing. And I understand your perspective is slightly different, but I did want to ask your opinion on this and introduce you, and I guess hopefully get you some book sales for the next time so people can come back with some more formulated questions. Now it's interesting because you brought up the something I wanted to talk about earlier, the differences between patriarchal and matriarchal societies, and then obviously everything, but the dating in between that. And there's all sorts of different ways human beings have arranged families and dating throughout cultures and the centuries. Do you have anything to say about the pros and cons or the differences between a patriarchal and matriarchal society, and maybe from your own perspective, what might work best?
Hmm. I definitely see things in terms of pros and cons. In every kind of setting, in every kind of culture, there will be pros and there will be cons. And a lot of this will depend on the individual perspective because we all have free will, you see. And if you are living in a culture that is patriarchal, but you do not necessarily see yourself in that way, there are certain things that you will then be called to do because nothing is a coincidence as well. And we are living in this the system that we are in, which is planet Earth, Gaia, has been set up in a with duality. So there is a lot of resistance to us connecting to our true self. There are a lot of things that have been set up, including patriarchal structures, including matriarchal structures, including gender differences, including age differences. These are all resistance to enable us disconnect from who we truly are. So yes, I see the pros and cons. there is definitely um, an advantage if you have come on this earth plane to explore certain themes. If you've come to explore the theme of dominance, male dominance, you're better off being in a patriarchal society, I guess. But if you've come to explore female dominance, you're better off being in a matriarchal society. And there is no right or wrong, I have to say. It's really about the perspective that you hold and the way in which you set your intentions and the actions that you take. Clarity. Clarity is key. I have lived in both a patriarchal and a matriarchal society. And I enjoyed, obviously, as a woman, being in a matriarchal society. That was fun, much more fun for me. It was less stressful for me. There was less I needed to maneuver. There was less I needed to transform in my environment, living in a matriarchal society as a woman, as a strong, empowered woman. But it depends. There are some women who would prefer a patriarchal society. So I think it comes down to us remembering that we are not victims. And whatever culture, whatever society we're in, the perspective that we hold, the perspective that we hold and the meaning that we place on our own goals. What do we want out of this? It's not about what are they doing to me. It's what do I want out of this? Where am I going? What are my goals? What are my intentions? Do I want to go this way or that way? And the perspectives that we hold are really key, whether it's dating, whether it's work, even in dating, the perspective that you hold as a woman or a man entering into a relationship, an intimate relationship, it's important to enter it as an empowered being. So you're getting to know the person and getting to understand whether their values match yours. And you're getting to understand whether they are compatible with you from a place of love. And it's not about handing your life over to anybody. It's about being responsible for your own life and allowing yourself to get to know who can share the energy that you have. So knowing yourself is much more important to you, and then getting to know who matches you. This is resonance. This is alignment to the empowered being that we are. And when we take our relationships or dating, because you have to date before you can have a relationship. You can't skip dating, no matter how traumatic it can be sometimes. But it's about doing it as an empowered being and knowing yourself. Knowing yourself is so key. And then you can begin to realize whether those around you or those you are linking up with or connecting with match you. And you can do it slowly, slowly. That's key. Not rushing into things. Well, again, there's no right or wrong. You see, it's all about us being clear about what we want and not trying as much as possible not to engage in activities that we then regret. Learn, stepping stone, and move forward. It's really key. And this is what being an empowered being is about. It's about really taking action and not feeling regret, knowing it's a stepping stone because we're not our mistakes. We can make mistakes, but we are not our mistakes. So this is key. Right or wrong is really the mindset that the system encourages us to have. We have a lot to learn. We're always learning till we pass. I am always learning. We are all always learning. But having a mindset that allows us to make the changes that we need to make in order for us to raise in frequency levels of love, to get higher and higher in our understanding of ourselves as empowered, loving, compassionate beings.
Let me ask you a brief follow up to that because you took it to a deep esoteric philosophical level, and I love it. I was initially skeptical, because I'm skeptical of everything. I'm the world's biggest skeptic. I was initially skeptical about reincarnation, and then I found out that for over 50 years now, I believe there's been a professor and researcher at the University of Virginia, and then he's passed, and it's been carried on by another professor and researcher at the University of Virginia. And they were recently on the Psychology Today podcast, where they talked about that they try to. There's a bunch of mostly prepubescent children from all across the world, and they have uncanny, remarkable memories of alleged past lives. And they take out all the things. Oh, it could be this, could be that, and they're still left with an abundance of cases. So then I was like, okay, well, maybe. Do you think we chose to be here first and foremost? And what's your take on this whole age of Aquarius? I mean, I get down sometimes, but I do feel like this generation here is more awakened, and they're ready to, I don't want to say tear down, but maybe replace some of the more outmoded, antiquated forms of thinking and kind of expose the truth. What's your take on that mouthful, that verbose mouthful I just gave you?
Is that for me?
Yes, please. I'm sorry. And then we're going to go to Alexia, but I definitely want to hit you with a follow-up right there.
I definitely agree. I think there's definitely a generation of children who really have come to challenge the status quo. And I think that's a good thing. It's definitely about us beginning to walk and talk as the infinite intelligence itself. So you have children now coming and declaring that they're not men or women anymore. They're binary. You have a lot of, changes that are really challenging the status quo. And this is about awakening to who we truly are. And that is, so I do agree with you. Yes, it's a journey, because they are, and even some of the children that we have, that are called autistic children, they're all children who have really come to embody a different sense of socialization. They're communicating differently, they're behaving differently. In order for us to reflect and contemplate, they have made a huge sacrifice, because there's nothing much more difficult than when you stand out different from everybody else. It is a challenge to be an autistic person, because my 27-year-old is autistic. So I know it is such a challenge for him to be alone in this, in his own world. And no matter how much we love him and care about him, we know that he does have a difference in the way he perceives life and he perceives the world. But he has given us all, anybody in his life, anybody who has contact with him, has to question the way they perceive things, because he has so much love within him. The purity within him allows us to awaken and touch our own truth. And he has kept me on my toes. And it's one of the reasons why I am so focused on my own transformation and why I teach what I do now. So I agree with you.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. And it's funny that you should say that, because the last 2 weeks we actually opened up. 2 weeks ago, we had Jeremy Tolmie, and he's an author. He's on the spectrum. He wrote an awesome book called Kicking Asperger's. And we talked to him, and we had a mother of a child that was on the spectrum. And we were talking to him, and they had all these questions. And basically, we said, I'm going to help him co-write the next book, because they were asking all these dating questions. It's going to be called Getting Asperger's. He declined. He said, stay away from me and my brand. But then the following week, we had my boy Michiana Elevators come on, because he was inspired by that. And I've said behind the scenes, and I've said on camera a number of times, I truly believe the people that we term autistic are like the death blow to the New World Order. Because what you said, which I never quite articulated correctly, the innocence, that is so. It's like if someone said, hey, will you look super nice today? I'll feel nice. I'll pass along the compliment. I'm going to have a higher vibration because of that. And that also has the same effect with these children that are so-called autistic or on the spectrum. However, it's not just the love, it's the information as well too. I truly believe that the people that are on the spectrum are the death blow to the New World Order. So yeah, I could not agree with you more. Alexia, yeah, what do you say to all that? And then, yeah, I'm getting better. I've been working on not interrupting and asking monologue questions. So yeah, let's see how you feel about that first, and then we'll continue.
All right. Yeah, I had to leave for a little bit. Sorry about that. I am still active. It's a 24/7 job with the Army, so if I have to leave again, I do apologize. But following your last point, I do agree with you so much. So I grew up with a sister who was special needs. She passed away when I was 13. And something that I took while looking for like the gifts through grief was the outlook she gave me on life. Like growing up with a sister like that, a best friend like that, I became a more compassionate person. I know that without a doubt, it is because I had her in my life. I looked at life so much differently from a loving and a positive mindset instead of focusing on the negativity and what went wrong. Because when I did, she was always right there to be like, but we did this today and this was so great and you looked so pretty today. And I took that into my adult life, into my friendships, into my romantic relationships, and it's made me way more at peace. I've given that same theory to friends and they say the same thing. The way that people on the spectrum look at life, they see the positives in it, and that's something that we so often forget to do. We get bogged down by the hustle and the bustle of everyday life, whether it's our job, whether it's family problems, what's going on in the news. And instead of taking a step back and realizing how much of a gift life is, we throw that to the side because these other things are more important. And having that daily reminder at such a young age and having that instilled in me has 100% changed how I view the world and life and everything.
That's awesome. Now, okay, let's just get back to the first point, and then we'll kind of switch gears real quick. So, if a man approaches you looking like an idiot like me with the backwards hat or whatever, and let's just say I had just a hoodie and sweatpants on versus not necessarily me, but the guy that you guys are attracted to versus that guy in a sweatpants, hoodies, and maybe a hat versus a suit. Is that going to increase the likelihood of you even giving him conversation in the first place? Or I mean, the same guy, same height, same attractiveness. Does that make a difference?
Personally, no. It's more on the communication we have, what we're talking about, and like the way in which he approaches me. I don't care what you look like or what you're dressed as. If you approach me in a respectful manner and you have something to say and you have something you want to talk about, then I will 100% give you my time of day. It's all about the way in which you approach somebody. While image does matter, I do believe that like putting your best foot forward and like dressing and looking how you feel on the inside or how you want to feel and what you want to project is important. What's more important is how you treat people. And that's what people are going to remember about you most rather than what outfit you were wearing that day. They're not going to carry that with them a month from now.
I don't know. You should see some of the shit my friends wear. I mean, I'm still talking about that like 10 years later. It's crazy. So okay, and that's the key thing, right? So women, the way the dynamic works is women will either make themselves available or they won't. They'll still get approached. And men, it's our job, generally speaking, to do the approaching. Uh, Now, with the rise of the internet, pickup artists, dating shows, and coaches, and all that, there's a lot of information out there. And what works well for you, ladies, or if you could speak on behalf of yourself and perhaps some of your friends, how would you prefer to be approached by a gentleman?
Personally, I'm not a huge fan of pickup lines, and I know that's probably not what
I
everyone
shouldn't
wants
say
to hear.
pickup lines in general. I mean, I apologize. Just approaches, yeah, because pickup lines are pretty lame. But
Yeah.
I shouldn't say pickup line, but approach because it could be
Um,
yeah.
Sorry.
Which
Do you want to take this next one? I just have to grab the door.
yeah, go ahead, go do it. Bola, what's your take
Yes,
on
yes. Could you ask the question again?
that? Yeah, when when a gentleman is trying to court a female or just approach her, I should say, for the first time, what are some do's and don'ts what's going to help? What are some do's and don'ts as a man approaching a woman? Because you guys are both beautiful, intelligent women who also have a passion for life and are doing things. And that's I mean, those are the type of women I think guys want. Not necessarily even doing something with their life, but that's like an extra cherry on top. You guys are kicking ass. You know what I'm saying? But you guys, I mean, to speak for men, generally speaking, men want someone that's good looking and they want someone that's loyal, right? I mean, those are the two main things. There are other things, but they want someone that's pretty decent looking and loyal, right? And then you guys have all the other accolades too. You guys are taking life by the horns and doing things for the world, not just yourselves. So Bola, what would you say about pro tip for guys approaching? Any do's and don'ts? And then as a secondary question, what are the best, worst, craziest, and most used pickup lines that you've gotten in your days?
Honestly, I'm not an expert in this. Let me
Well,
just say that first.
you lived it though. You. I mean, how would you like to be approached?
Right.
And you can give us some laughs because I've heard some of the pickup lines that some people use, myself included, in there.
I think in life, I think we've just got to be ourselves. There's someone for everyone. There is someone for everyone. And I always try to encourage people not to depend on what the other person will see or what the other person will say. I think, I may begin to sound like some kind of broken record, but really it comes down to, if I look good, that's good enough. You know, if I look good, and this is the confidence that we can come to have as empowered beings, um, as to who will like me. This is about how much do I like myself. That is what will reflect, because you will find that it's not about beauty, it's not about money, it's not about what you say, or because I grew up as a stutterer, you see. I started at the age of 2, 3, 4. I could barely talk.
Wow.
So I was quite isolated, even in my nursery, in my primary school, I was very isolated. So even though I was an A student, I couldn't actually socialize as well as I wanted to. So this is something I've had to learn. I've had to learn to socialize and to really believe in myself and to really love who I am. And whoever resonates with that and comes correct, comes with respect, comes with sincerity, that is good enough. As to anything else, that's a secondary thing. The primary thing is who resonates, because I'm also an energy being and I work with energy. So the energy has to feel right, but everybody is different. Everybody is different. And I don't, I'm sure some dating experts may have some tips as to the kinds of women that men like or the types of men that women like. But I think for me, my advice to my clients and for my own life is to love who you are. And that's good enough. That's good enough.
Very well put. Alexia, any pro tips for the bros trying to pick up a good lady out there too? Because obviously we know what to do if there's a HO3, but the guys that are serious about trying to procure themselves a good woman and raise themselves a family, any do's or don'ts for the gentlemen out there?
Definitely be confident. Like a girl can tell when you're not confident or comfortable in your own skin. Being comfortable in who you are and knowing who you are is extremely important, but also being upfront. Be honest about what you expect and what you're looking for in a relationship. Nobody likes to get led on. And I think that's something that should be talked about on a first date. What you expect of them, what they expect of you, and the life that you want to have. At the end of the day, we don't want to waste our times, and we all have somebody out there for us. I truly believe that what's meant for you will come to you, but helping yourself along the way is also a key.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And so, just from the female perspective, I kind of led it on a little bit, but I mean, what significance? I said two things that I think are the most important is obviously attractiveness. That pretty much goes for everybody. But then also, I think the way a male is rated is based on his accolades, his financial independence, what he can bring to the table as a provider, what would you agree with that? Would you disagree with that? What would you say that some of the not necessarily even just traits, but traits as well too? What's a solid catch for a girl? What would a guy have to be at least slightly be above average, bringing to the table to get a solid chick?
I disagree with being the financial provider and that being important. I personally was raised and lived my life and my relationships based on me being able to provide for myself. My partner should add value to my life. They shouldn't be my whole life. Like, you are your own person outside of that relationship, and that's extremely important. I think that something that men can do to add value to themselves is, again, knowing who they are. That's extremely important. I'm 23 years old. A lot of guys that I've gone out with are still figuring out who they are. I myself sometimes am still figuring out who I am. It's understandable, but being upfront about it is important. And also going in with an understanding mindset. That's the biggest thing for me when I'm dating. Understanding and respect. That is huge, and it'll take you leaps and bounds. Finances and what you're wearing and what you have matter a lot less to women than men think.
I'm going to push back. I'm not saying you're incorrect there, but I do think that I think you may be an exception to the rule there. Have you? And feel free not to answer any of these questions. Have you ever dated anybody that made less money than you?
I have.
You
Yes.
have?
Yes.
Are you still dating that person?
I'm not, but not for that reason.
Okay. See, I think I've had my own experiences, and I've talked to some people too. And I think that it's important for men, like she said, to do bring that value to yourself, because there are sweet women out there like Alexia and like some people that even I've dated as well too. And first of all, you're gonna have your own money. I mean, it's crazy. But when my grandpa was growing up, it was a whole different story. He could feed a family of 8, no problem, because inflation wasn't crazy. He already bought a house. He didn't have to work 9 jobs. He didn't have to have grandma out there working all these jobs too. So you definitely men, if you're not working 60 to 80 hours a week, you're not working. You're literally not working. And yeah, women will say, and there are, I think Alexia may be the exception to the rule when it comes to this. But I definitely concur with her that yes, you want to have that figured out for yourself. You want to be financially stable too. I think that she's probably right. I think she's a sweetheart, but I do think if she was dating a bro for like 5, 10 years, it's like after a while you'd be like, all right, who's the man here? Like, I mean, if he offers other things too, I don't know, because I do think because I'll say this and I'll give you the floor, because I recently, not recently, it's been over 2 years since we've broken up now, but I had a real sweetheart. She was a great girl, and I was focusing on the revolution, and I was sometimes I would be just focusing doing YouTube, and sometimes I'd be working 3 jobs doing other things. And the problem with that was I could tell, even though she loved me, and if it was up to me, not if it was up to me, if I wanted to, and things had turned out the way I'm glad they didn't, but if I wanted to, I could be with her to this day. But it did kind of it grinded her gears after a while. She first you'd say like, oh well, I love the fact that you don't care about money and you're standing up to the system and you're not like other guys. And then after a while, it's like, and I'm like, so what do you think? Maybe 5 or 10 years, it starts to get annoying, Alexia?
I have no problem making more money or being the breadwinner. I don't think that determines what a man is or their role in our relationship. I think the problem with that story you told wasn't the fact that you weren't making a lot of money, it was the priorities and that your relationship didn't seem to be a top priority. And this is not me like attacking you, maybe I'm making assumptions. But for me personally, I don't care what the man I'm with is making or what he's doing unless he is doing something that is obviously illegal or is not giving him any value to life.
Well,
money isn't the problem, it's priorities that are the problem.
I totally agree, and I think you're right about that. Would you expect the man to pick up some other type of thing if you were the primary breadwinner? And I'm going to welcome also DMA. This guy's a YouTuber. He's
Hey guys.
nearly at 200,000 subscribers. This guy has literally changed the world. and he's smarter and more handsome than me in every single way, and that's why I was like, "Geez, when the hell are you gonna get here, Bucko?" And then we have Teets. Teets, welcome to the stream. How are you? You're muted there, Bucko. We can't hear you. Just gotta unmute. Boop, go like boop.
I
There we
think you
go.
can unmute her actually from
Oh
your
man,
end.
let's
Yeah.
see if I can do that. And if that doesn't work, I think I can. Let's look at that. Oh my gosh, no, I can't. I can't unmute her.
Oh.
Try to leave. Try to leave and come back, and let's see if that happens. Whoa, I can mute people. Ah, look at this.
Yeah, you can mute people.
Nice.
You
Okay.
got the power.
Just I've got the power. Okay, so distractions aside, we're talking about guys, men's image, female. Okay, that's what I wanted to say. Alexia, I would agree with about everything you said except for illegal, because just because something is illegal doesn't necessarily make it war. Right now, here in the United States, the war on drugs. Well, first of all, they didn't even get a constitutional amendment like they did with alcohol. And every single day, cops will arrest your butt if you got a plant on you. The same plant that George Washington himself grew. So if George Washington is alive today, they would arrest George Washington. Not only that, I mean, it's Friday, right? But so yes, just because slavery was once legal, and harboring slaves to freedom was once illegal. So just because, but I think I'm just being a little picky with your words there. But yeah, I agree.
I said illegal because I'm in the military. Like that is my job, that's my career. Yes, I have businesses on the side, I have a nonprofit, I have other things that I do to earn money, but my primary career is the military. So for me personally, adhering by my regulations and things like that, I said illegal. That is a personal preference. I know that's not everybody's preference. But if I was the primary breadwinner, I don't expect the man that I'm with, to pick up other things. Like, I love to cook. I like to clean. I was raised in, as I said, an immigrant household. Those were things that I did a lot, and it reminds me of my childhood and my family. So it's things that I like to do. Again, the biggest thing for me is priorities. Are you valuing me? Are you putting our relationship first? Are you communicating? Is it a respectful relationship? Those things matter so much more than any monetary value, any monetary like things that he could be bringing to the table. I am fully capable of making my own money. I am fully capable of helping take care of the household. It is 2024. We shouldn't have gender roles in terms of what a man should be providing, what a woman shouldn't. That is for you to decide with your partner, what fits best in your lives.
My mom's so fat she buttered and ate all the gender roles, which is why we have none. So and then just add this friendly reminder to Alexia. Yeah, I mean, police arrest people every day in this country for feeding the homeless. What the heck? Now I'm gonna one more follow up with Alexia. She's on a roll right now. And again, find her nonprofit in the description and the comments. Let's help out some foster kids while we're having fun. How much training do they give you on the good old Constitution there in the Army?
I was a political science major at Syracuse University, where I concentrated in American government. So I can talk politics.
No, I know you can. I know you can. You're very smart, and that's another reason that I asked you to come on. But I knew you studied political science because you mentioned it earlier. But do they give you any training about the Constitution? And if you can't say anything, because Uncle Sam's got his finger to your back.
In the Army?
Yeah.
It's job specific, right? So at the end of the day, I am a soldier first. I learned how to shoot a gun. I learned combatives, basic training to protect myself and civilians. But you have a day-to-day job, and that is where a lot of your training comes from. Do I know things like that? Yes, but that's because I am currently in a public affairs position. So I do need to know that in order to adhere by Army regulation, government rules, and to ensure that I am getting out the message of what the military is doing in a fast, effective, and constitutional way. So I did personally.
Alexia, we're going to come on another day. Maybe we have to save some of this for behind the scenes because I want you to remain gainfully employed over there for sure. I have one more question for you. Okay,
I can do one more question, and then, like I said, it's a 24-hour job. I do have people under me, so I do have to go. That's
that's the question.
Camera off, people coming back.
I appreciate you joining. One more question.
Yes.
You took a sacred oath before God and your countrymen on the backs of the countless founding fathers, Civil War heroes, and civil rights heroes on their blood, sweat, and tears. If the government says, "Hey, I'm going to need you, Alexia, to put your hair in a ponytail and round up the guns of the people. You going with, or are you going to say, no, I follow the Constitution? That's my best Alexia impression. I'm working on it. I just met you today. Give me 5 minutes.
So I think that that is not something that the U.S. military would be doing. If anything, that would be your local police. If it did come to that, that's a decision I would have to make between what my moral values are and an oath that I swore. I'm currently not at that point, so I can't give you an answer because any answer that I give you right now is not necessarily what I'm going to do in that moment. What I will say is that I believe in the Constitution. I do believe that there are reforms that need to be made in this country, a hell of a lot of reforms. And slowly we are starting to see people, especially in our generation, take a stand against things that they don't believe is right. I myself has done so many times, whether it's organizing rallies, being a part of them, getting the word out on social media. Um, but as far as my job is concerned, I I have orders. If those orders did come down, that's something I would have to decide in that moment, but I can't give you an answer to that because I've never received those orders.
Well, Alexia, thank you very much for your time. Hopefully,
Hey,
we'll get a chance to chit chat again. You're welcome up any and every Friday with a different topic. I'd love to also get you on so you can talk specifically about your nonprofit. Don't take any unconstitutional orders. You'll retire. Alexia, thank you so much.
hey,
Uh,
Alexia, hold on. Do you have time for one question for me? Like,
Yeah,
or do you have to
of
go?
course.
I just have a question and a follow-up question if you have time. Because
Yeah.
I was listening to what you said. You said earlier, you said, I'm a soldier first. Can you tell me what that means?
I'm going
Yeah.
to take
So,
a brief bathroom break, DMA. If you
Yeah.
could get those questions, if I'm not back in time, let's introduce Teet and get
Okay.
her opinion on a few things. I'll be right back.
All right.
I'm a soldier first, right? So that means that at the end of the day, I have an everyday job. Right before this, I was human resources. I deployed doing human resources. Um, Currently, I'm reclassing to public affairs for the Army. Uh, and while that is my day to day job, I am trained in soldier tasks, i.e., how to shoot a gun, how to defend myself, um, basic medics and combat medic stuff, things like that. So at the end of the day, if there was a war, my services were needed in that kind of setting, my job is to be a soldier first, not to be a public affairs specialist. So when I say soldier first, I don't mean that's like the first thing in my life that I am. I mean, work wise, that is the first thing that I am.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. Thanks for clarifying that. Because
Yeah.
I was kind of where I was going with that was I think kind of what like fake Mike was saying was, you know, are you a soldier first or are you a human being first, right? Because
Yeah.
governments, over the last century have genocide hundreds of millions of people, right? So to be naive and say that the United States government couldn't become tyrannical, I mean, in my
Yeah.
opinion, they already are, but to say that that's not a possibility is very naive. So, a lot of times,
Well,
like soldiers are given unconstitutional orders and they just follow orders because if they don't, then they lose their job. And like a lot of times, people have families to feed. And so, like I say a lot that, in tribal times, there was only 50 to 100 people in a tribe. And in tribal times, it was advantageous to submit to the alpha because it ensures your survival. And 99% of our existence has been in tribal times, right? We only had this population explosion recently. So a lot of times people will still do that and they'll just submit to the alpha and they'll say, oh, that's unconstitutional order. Well, I have to feed my family, so I'm just going to follow it. You know what I mean?
I mean, so I don't think that like my job defines me. Like, yes, I'm not ashamed that I am in the military. I grew up with immigrant parents who struggled to come to this country for a better life, and they got that. They are the definition of the American dream. My dad came here when he was 9 years old, didn't speak the language. My mom was older too, didn't speak the language either. They were able to put me through private schooling. I went to a wonderful university. So I'm proud to be an American because I understand the struggle that they came from and the sacrifices they've made to give me and my siblings the life that we have. And that is why I joined the military. But first and foremost, I am an aunt, I am a big sister, I am a president of a nonprofit. Those are the things that I am first. My job, just like anybody else's job, doesn't define who they are.
I know you got to go soon. I wanted to just show you something because you said that you're in public affairs,
I
which
am.
is interesting because uh, my number one influence was a Marine, and he was in public affairs, and he was served in the first battle in Iraq in Fallujah in 2004. And he wrote this book, and it's called Freedom. And I think especially people like you who are also in the military need to read this book. And this book is available for free on every digital format. You can actually go to his YouTube channel, Adam Kokesh, and he has it on YouTube. He reads his own book. But he wrote this book, part of this book, while he was in jail. He actually got arrested for racking a
Don't
shotgun
spoil
on
it. Don't
freedom.
spoil it. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Okay.
I was looking for a new book. I was saying to my roommate, I stayed up late reading my last book last night. So that is perfect timing, and I definitely will read that.
It's
Great. And I hope
free.
you come back up and let us know too, like what your thoughts are,
Yeah.
because it might challenge your beliefs a little bit. But given the fact this is coming from an Iraq war veteran, you might like it.
Stop. Don't give her any more. Don't give her any more.
Oh,
No,
I'm not gonna spoil it.
No, look, definitely check out Freedom by Adam Kokesh. 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 Freedom by Adam Kokesh. I highly recommend the book. It's one of my top, I would say literally no exaggeration, top 5 books I've ever read. And not to brag, I finished a rather big book the other day. It was 50 pages, and that's a lot of coloring if you think about it. Like my forearm was screwed up after that. But in all seriousness, that book is amazing. A little disappointed DMA. You said, well, my inspiration. I was sitting over here like,
Well, everyone knows you're my number one inspiration.
Okay,
Just to give it, so.
He's 1.5. I get it. No, seriously, DMA is cool that he plays with me like that because he's obviously the superior man to me. Teach, are you there with us, player? You down there, or she's at work?
I'm gonna head out.
Okay.
Thank you very much for joining.
Yeah,
Everyone, if you could say one last thing, if you could say the name of your nonprofit 3 times, because it sticks in people's memories, and the link will be in the description so people can support you and tell them that the fakest of all Michael sent you.
Oh goodness, okay, it's long. I can say it twice. It's Foster Hope, Adopt a Dream, advocating for foster children in the United States. I'm actually just gonna say it once, but also follow me on Instagram. It's Lexi_Rodriguez. You can get more information on upcoming fundraisers that I'm having, and I'm also competing for Miss Rhode Island in a few months if you'd like to follow along on that journey. And I hope you guys have me back soon. It was wonderful to talk to you guys, and have a great night.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Lexi, much appreciated. Teets, welcome to the Scream. How are you today, player? Can we get a check one too? Great. Great. We can hear you now. You've got a lovely smile. Great. Welcome to the stream. So the first thing what you missed out on here is we were talking about men's image and the female mindset. Let's start with the men's image. One of the things we talked about, and this is a quote, if anybody's just joining, first of all, share the video. Second of all, support Bola. Bola is like a regular guest on our show, only like times 10. And I feel kind of bad but I did. And she was like, that's not what I usually talk about. And I was like, will you please come on anyways? And she was like, no. And then I was like, I'll give you $12. And she was like, make it 50. And I was like, okay. And so luckily we have her. We're going to have her back on the show. Her book sounds amazing. I'm going to be purchasing it for sure. And just what she had to say. And then how eloquent she talks. She's like or all like me. She's over here just like, she's like, the Oracle from the Matrix, only younger and prettier. Okay, so I'm going to start calling you the Oracle. And Teets, so let's talk about a men's image in 2024. How important is a man's image when approaching to you? And then also, what are some of the best, worst, craziest, and most used pickup lines that you've got, or not necessarily pickup lines, approaches you've gotten in real life and on the internet?
Okay, so a man's image for me when approaching me is someone that has the same expectation of goals as me. So like if I was to ever, like are we talking about visually, like when I first see somebody, their image?
Yeah, so for example, if someone pulls up on you, same level of attractiveness, same height, weight, whatever, it's somebody that you do find attractive, whatever that is, and there's 2 approaches. One is a guy that's got a nice suit on. The other guy, he's just got a hoodie and sweatpants on. And
hoodie and sweatpants.
You would prefer that?
I would prefer that, yes.
And why?
Because I feel like if you have a suit and you're approaching me, it shows that you're a little bit more advanced in whatever you're doing, and that's not where I am at the moment.
Wouldn't you want a man more advanced than you?
No.
Why not? What do you mean by when you say advanced? Like, what do you mean by that?
Like making more money, making
You wouldn't
just
want a guy. You wouldn't want a guy making more money than you so you could take care of you. No.
I would want the taking care of me aspect the same way I would take care of you. So it's just like you help me with what I can help you with. Someone who is just able to provide it all for me and do everything, that's nice, but then it also lowers my self-esteem and my confidence as a woman because it's just like this
What
man
do
is doing,
you?
yeah.
First of all, I like where you're going because this is making a good uh, conversation, and you're giving me answers that I was not expecting, which is fascinating. So, what do you think that the okay? Do you the male and the female in the relationship? Do you think that their roles should be different, or do you think that they should be the same? And if yes or if no, expand upon that, please.
I feel like they should be a mix of both because as a woman, I should be able to take care of the house, take care of you when you get out of work. And as a man, you should be able to provide and give me the stability that I could use to take care of both of us. So having a
So
man, yeah.
no, I'm sorry, and I apologize. Please continue because one of the things I promised myself I was going to work on is interruptions. I'm really bad at it. Sorry. Please continue. So yeah, so okay, so a little more advanced though. But so if you're saying that the guy should be, it would be best if the guy could take care of you and you could stay at home and raise the children, nurture the children, and you didn't have to work. So if you had two choices, a guy that's maybe he's a little bit older than you and he's wearing a suit, or a guy he's your same age, but the guy that's slightly older, he can provide for you and you don't have to work another job. You can stay home. You can just sit there, shop on it, not shop on Amazon excessively, but shop on Amazon. You know what I'm saying? Look pretty, raise the kids. Would you prefer that to somebody that was on your same age or level? What's your take on that?
I'd rather prefer we both provide. I don't want him to be the only person to provide because then it feels like I can't. As a woman raising kids, it just looks like, oh, mom just stayed home all day. She didn't really go out and show us that I could do it as a woman too. Or only a woman is supposed to stay home and take care of the house. A woman's not supposed to work. I don't like putting that image into kids' mind because I have a 4-month-old son and I already know how I kind of want to raise my son to show no matter whatever troubles I go through, there's always going to be a better outcome. So if a man just comes home, take care of all the bills and everything, it gives an impact on my kids. If I have a daughter, showing her, oh, I just need a man to give me everything I want, buy me everything I want. All I have to do is sit at home, take care of the house, and watch the kids. That's not really something I see myself showing my kids.
That's fair. I definitely respect that. I'm gonna follow up with one more question, and then I'm gonna give the floor to DMA so he can talk to Bola and me and you about some spiritual stuff because these people to our side over here, they're way smarter than me, like by leaps and bounds. So I'm gonna let them take over and talk about some dope stuff, and we'll hopefully DMA can tie it back to dating somehow too. He's smart enough; he'll figure it out. But as far as when men approach you, T, because obviously you're someone that's well spoken. You've got a really nice smile. I'm sure men approach you all the time online and in real life also. What are the best, worst, craziest, and most frequently used pickup lines or approaches that you've heard online or in real life?
Okay, the weirdest pickup line I've ever heard was,
Or approach.
when are you going to have my kids next? No, your eyes are so pretty. When are you going to have my kids next?
Next,
That's the
like you
crazy.
already had a kid from him? That's I've never heard that one. And it's funny because I ask females all the time, like in my friends' family, and anytime I get a chance to, because as a male, we're the ones that generally speaking do the approaching, right? And females, they'll either let themselves be approached or they won't, and they'll be like, get away from me. But as a man's job, it's our job to, for the most part, do the approaching. So that was the weirdest. Have you any good ones, or what's the most frequent thing that you get approached by either online or in the DMs?
My favorite one is, you have a pretty smile. Let me take you out. Just pinpointing the little things I really don't pay attention to, my eyes, my smile, stuff like that, my personality. So when someone else sees the good I could provide, that makes me want to lean more into pursuing it further. But the one I don't really like is when they use my body as a way to text me or try to flirt with me, or like, I understand I have a certain type of body, but there's more to me than that. So just only pinpointing out my body is just like, that's already a turn off for me. I don't want nothing to do with you because you're only looking at one thing now. You only want to do one thing after that. So there's no.
I totally agree with you there, Teets. Because every time, like, I'll be out, I'll be having a drink, and I'll be like, and I'll be like, hey, ladies, my eyes are up here, and they'll be just like staring at the beard, and it's like, hey, come on, I'm not just a piece of meat here. I have a personality too. You know what I mean? Okay, DMA. And Teets, one more thing and is there anything that you want to promote with us today? What's your Cash App? Do you have any business or charity that you want to promote with? What's your Cash App? Because I appreciate you being here, and I want people to hear what you have to say about the next question too. I definitely wanted to graciously introduce you here, but I wanted to look at the DMA's got folders and notebooks. Yeah, I hope you're ready for this, Bola. I hope you're ready for
No,
this.
I'm just
Is there
organized.
anything you want to promote, Teets?
No, I do. Actually, yes. Oh, well, yes. If you guys could go follow my sister's Instagram, Juice Skin Lab. She's a licensed esthetician. She focuses on people with very discolored skin. She does anything. So if
You
you guys
laughed a
want
little
to check
too
her
hard
out,
there, Teets.
yes.
It's a little too hard of a laugh. All right, Teets, if you could do me a favor, either now or later, DM me that, and I'll put it in the description so everyone can check that out, and remind me to promote that again at the end of the stream. DMA, please.
Yeah.
Floor
And
is yours.
maybe Rogier can throw a link in the chat too.
Please, Roger.
Rogier.
Yeah, Roger's
Yeah.
out there in
Also,
the Netherlands. In the Netherlands.
I was just wondering. Bola. I was trying to get ready. I just got home from Colorado Springs, and I was kind of listening, and you were saying some stuff about some spirituality. So, um, I actually I have a spiritual channel too. It's called Empirical Miracle, and I've been in my spiritual awakening now for, I'd say, about 5 years, 5 years in or so. And but I know I came in late, but could you just like briefly kind of tell me like your background and the stuff that you do? I know you said something about Reiki.
Yes, yes. Hi, it's nice to meet you, DMA. Yes, I am a Reiki practitioner. I was attuned in 2018. And this is really about me now being able to provide alignments for my clients. So we're all energy beings.
Yep.
And this is about us having a reactivation within us. I mean, Reiki, what Reiki does, it just allows us to reconnect to universal source. It allows us to connect to infinite intelligence. So a lot of the times, because of the conditioning and the programs that we receive from childhood, we disconnect. We disconnect and we forget who we are. You know, a lot of the times our energy bodies are actually kind of clogged up, blocked up. And it's all about the beliefs. The beliefs we hold actually create neural pathways within us. And some neural pathways are actually not flowing. They're actually, they actually block the way our energy flows. And when that happens, we enter a state of dis-ease. And this is what energy healing helps us to get. We become much more lighter. We become lighter, and our energy flows better. But we are the ones healing ourselves. So before I start any healing session, I have to tell my clients, give yourself permission to receive this next level for your own self, because it's only our intentions that allows us to align, to surrender to that energy healing that is happening for us. So I am only a conduit to actually allow them to connect, but it's the intentions and the beliefs that we hold that allow us to do everything, allow us to meet the man that we want, to meet the woman that we want. And this is about, will's, topics. I wanted to mention that the beliefs that we hold really impact on the experiences that we have. If we believe that this is the type of relationship that I want, that's the type of relationship that we will actually attract. A lot of my work is based around psychology, around humanistic psychology. So this is the work of Carl Rogers, where he's talking about how we are in a constantly changing universe. Every individual is in an energy field. They are at the center of an energy field in a constantly changing universe. We are not the same person we were a second ago. We are jumping timelines. So if we think we are the same person that got married yesterday or last month, no. It's about what are we doing to maintain the connection. We are in constantly changing relationships, constantly changing environments. We are constantly changing. And the only thing that is keeping us on the same supposedly linear track is our beliefs, our intentions. So yes, that's the work I do. I help my clients really come to understand what their beliefs and intentions are so they can have clarity. Excuse me. And it's that clarity that gives us the intentions, the empowered intentions to create the lives of our dreams. So it's the knowledge, the knowing our own self as empowered beings that allows us to craft, because we're actually crafting our reality. We're creating ourselves and we're crafting our reality. It's not happening to us. We are the ones creating it by the thoughts we hold, by the beliefs we hold, and the beliefs that my clients hold becomes clearer to them as we reflect, as they use the tools that I offer to them. And I have an 8-week program, the SMEET Emotional Mastery Program, which is about understanding self. It starts with self-awareness, understanding the thoughts, the beliefs, and the feelings that we hold, because this is what forms our behavior and our habits. And then being very mindful as to which of those beliefs we want to align to even more. This is mindfulness. And then integration is really becoming much more comfortable with having all the different types of beliefs and emotions within us. There is never a time when we're only holding love or bliss within us. We will always have some triggers of fear, triggers of anxiety. So this is about how we become much more comfortable with holding the range of emotions, the range of feelings within us, the range of thoughts. And then we are really looking after ourselves in self-care, trauma care. That's also part of what I teach with my clients. It's the unconditional loving compassion that we now come to have for our own selves. We're not looking for the exterior to look after us. We're not looking for that woman to look after us or that man to look after us. We are looking after our own selves as empowered beings, and we're having fun. It comes to a place where relationships can be fun. It's less about expectations and more about fun. And then you can become a transmuted being. Transmutation is about moving away from that physical ego-driven self to that higher self, driving our day-to-day. That is transmutation. It's a higher level. And that's what physics talks about, transmutation, changing your states of being. And that is what my book is about. My book is really about getting those who read and engage with it to understand their beliefs, their emotions, to become more familiar with what is the higher perspective and aligning to that, to allow themselves to show self-care, to heal from the trauma. We all have trauma imprints. It's in our DNA, ancestral lines. It is part of who we are. But how do we come to hold the space to heal our own selves? I offer energy healing to my clients when we come to this stage of the program. And transmutation is really becoming determined to choose the perspectives again and again of the higher self. It's a choice. It is a choice. And it sometimes is tough because nobody on the outside encourages us to choose love. You know, we are supposed to choose competition. We're supposed to choose survival. But there's a different frequency we can come to hold. And that is what I do. It's about supporting my clients to become much more aware of that empowered being within themselves, to know themselves, and then to begin to understand that there are different avatars and all the roles. They have a lot of identities, which are actually avatars, but they are the room that holds all the avatars. They are actually the room that holds every single identity. They are not the identity. They are consciousness
Yeah.
driving the different identities on a day to day.
That's really wild. It's like everything that you just said right now totally resonates with me. So that's amazing. And you're right. Like people, they just manifest their life on autopilot. They don't even realize they're doing it. And your thoughts become are their thoughts are a reflection of your beliefs. Your thoughts are a reflection of your emotions, and your emotions are a reflection of your reality. And what you think about over and over and over again eventually becomes a belief. And then once it comes a
Yes,
belief, it manifests into fruition. And like a lot
immediate.
of times people will just like they do that on autopilot. They don't realize that everything that's in their life is just literally a reflection of your thoughts. And when you believe something, it doesn't even have to be like when you first start thinking of things over and over and over again. It might even be weird. Like if you're homeless under a bridge and you just tell yourself every single day that I'm abundant, I have plenty of money and stuff. It's kind of weird, but eventually you start believing
Mhm.
it and it comes into reality. And then, like you said, like when you're a child, like you kind of have like spiritual amnesia when you're born, and like when you're born, you're literally, like you said, we're consciousness. That's what we are. So when you're a child, you're literally just always in the present moment. You're like a dog, right? They're just always in
Mm,
the present moment. They're like meditating at all times. And then about
mm,
like I say about like 5 years old, we start to become more intelligent. And then, like you said, social conditioning, people start to associate themselves as like this body, right? Or like as your ego. And so there's this thing on it's called Samadhi. It's a 2-part series on YouTube. It's great.
yes.
You've seen it. And it says there's one part that really struck a chord with me. It said, the moment you when a child sees a bird, the moment you tell the child what a bird is, it never sees a bird again. And that's true because when it first sees a bird, it's just in the present moment. And then when you tell it the child what a bird is, now it'll never see a bird again. It'll only see their thoughts of that bird.
Mhm.
So that's crazy. That's cool. I'd like
Yeah.
to read your book and stuff like that. Um, you sound really far further advanced than I am. So
There's something I thank you, dear me. There's something I wanted to say about relationships and our beliefs. I remember there was somebody that I was with a while ago, and I considered him to be not a generous person, um, and I defined him as that. And I never realized that the beliefs that I had and the beliefs that I had been conditioned with in my environment were that particular type of men were not generous. And it was a surprise to me that when he then had the next relationship after we broke up, he was so generous to that person. And I said to myself, it wasn't about him, it was about the beliefs that I had. The belief that we have will actually shape the person's character towards us. The same person will present themselves in a different way based on the beliefs that we have. The same person will treat different people differently, will
mhm.
based on the beliefs that each of them hold and how they interact with him. So it's not so much about the personalities. It comes down to the beliefs that we hold, and we will actually experience what we believe is possible with
Totally
the
agree.
spirit. And it's really interesting, very dynamic.
And
Really,
just just to back up everything that Bola is saying, and I hope you guys all purchase her book, Daily Soul Bites. It's Daily Soul Bites, Daily Soul Bites, BYTES. The link is in the description. Just to back up what she's saying from a scientific perspective, everything in the universe is a vibration. Radio, television, internet waves, they're a vibration. Scientists put suction cups on people's heads. Every thought you think emits a frequency. They've done a number of studies in quantum physics, Schrodinger's cat, the double slit experiment, just to name a couple, that show that your frequencies, the vibrations you emit from your thoughts, literally affect the empty space within matter. So Bola is not being hyperbolic when she says that when you are thinking or imagining things, you are literally creating brand new neurotransmitters in your brain. Your thoughts literally create the physical world in your own head, in the what we deem as the physical world. So what she's saying is so spot on. Denver Metro artist, I had a man crush on you, and I was going to let you take over this channel, but Bola's kicking butt right now. She's about to take over the whole channel. We got a couple new entrants into the race. We have Adriana and Chantel. Adriana, thank you very much for joining us today, and Chantel, you as well too. The title of today's live stream is Men's Image and the Mindset of Female Sexuality. So men, we got an image problem. I mean, look at me. I got a tag coming out of my head right now, and I've got tags hanging off of my pants because young people tell me it's cool, right? So we got an image problem. Don't worry. Next week, I'll be in a suit, right? Okay. So we got an image problem, and depending on the demographics we look at, either approximately 50% of the marriages end in divorce. So that means either you or your partner is going to get a divorce, and that's not good. So what I want to do is what Bola has been inspiring me to do, and which I spent a good number of years trying to do the wrong thing, is to try to cultivate gentlemen and gentlewomen and be the change that you want to see in the world. And so we're talking about these things. Adriana, what's your perception on men's image going into 2024? And I'll say this as some context for you here. Men, we used to be, rocking suits every day, no matter what our position was. And now grown men, and I'm just as guilty. We'll be wearing basketball sneakers into our late adults, right? Let's start first with men's image, and then we'll hit the female side of this. What's going on with men's image in 2024 from your perception there, Adriana? Can I call you Adriana like that? I like saying it like I'm a Middle European person.
It's actually Adriana.
I know, but I want to sound like Adriana, like I'm some type of like maybe Austrian. Adriana. Okay.
It's fine.
Adriana, sorry about that.
What? No, it's okay. I'm used to it, honestly. Gosh, what I see for men's image in 2023, it's different. Or 2024, it's definitely different. Like I see a lot more skinny jeans. I definitely see a lot more of the fanny packs, the little backpack straps. I mean, I even come across people who are like in their 50s who are still dressing like they're younger, which, there's nothing wrong with it. They're just trying to get in tune with the newer style of age with the kids. And
so Adriana, let me follow up with this. If a gentleman approaches you, same height, same physical characteristics, and these are physical characteristics that you deem attractive, is a gentleman going to score more points if he's approaching you in a suit as opposed to a hoodie and sweatshirt? Same approach, same look, same everything. Is that going to be a determining factor? Is that going to add more points one way or another?
To me personally, no. How he comes off at the beginning of conversation is going to determine whether or not if I want to proceed forward. Whether or not if I want to give him a chance and get to know him as a person, or whether or not if I want to decline. Because
1 second, I'm still here.
Gotcha. And Adriana, one more follow-up question to that, and then we'll get to Chantal, who I'm sure I'm butchering her name too.
I'm still here. Just 1 second.
Yeah, take your time. So Adriana, what are some of the and I have a few female friends, believe it or not, and they've shown me their dating inbox, and it's just like, hey. What are the best? And prepare yourself, Jacqueline and Chantal, and I'm totally butchering names on purpose today. Trust me, it's on purpose. What are the best, worst, craziest, and most frequent pickup lines and or approaches that you've ever got? Let's start with Adriana. and then we'll move on.
Honestly, me personally, I don't think I've honestly have gotten any of the best or any good pickup lines. I think everything is always, "Hey, you're beautiful," with your Cash App. Can I take you on a date? Hey, sexy, or hey, you're a slut. Can I talk to you? Hey,
Hey,
you're a
you're a
beast.
slut. Can I talk to you?
Yeah, like you'd be
Hold on.
surprised
I
at
gotta
what.
interrupt you. Has any other woman on this panel or DMA gotten, hey, you're a slut? Can I talk to you? Just a yes or no? I've never heard. That's a new one for me.
It's definitely new for me too.
Cheese and crackers. Wow, I ask all the time. That's incredible. Have there any are there any that stood out for you particularly bad or particularly good? Or is there one thing that people do more than usual?
I noticed. Okay, so when it comes to, especially like with my Facebook or Snapchat inbox, um, it seems like it's the younger, I should say, the ones that are definitely about a good 4 to 6 years younger than me, that are more respectable, because they'll just be like, hey,
Really?
yeah, like they're just like, hey, my name is Ethan.
Wow.
I came across your profile
No, let's not
picture,
put Ethan on blast. Ethan's a good guy. Okay, let's hopefully Ethan gets
and
that. All right, come on.
but
That's his
Okay,
real
wow,
name too.
yeah,
that's his.
it is his
I
real
could
name,
tell
but
now
because that's a
I'm not
kind
gonna
of
get
a
his last name.
unique name.
And just one more follow up, Adriana. What's Ethan's Facebook profile, Snapchat, Social Security, and blood type? I find that fascinating. And let me tell you, these kids, they're saying, "Hey, what's your Snapchat?" I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna read to you. I'm not gonna show you. I'll tell you what. I'll show you here so you see it's real. Let me cover it up, just so you see I'm being real here. So I sent this girl a DM. Adriana, if you could mute up when you're not talking, please. So this girl, I study a lot of different dating people, relationship coaches, business people, psychologists. This is something that I'm into. We're gonna get to Chantal, and she's gonna tell me how I destroyed the pronunciation of her name first and foremost.
Okay.
But so I this is my thing, and I'm being 100% dead ass here. So if there's somebody that I find interesting and is online and I want to talk to them, I will say, do you know what I found most interesting about your profile? Question mark. Because it's that curiosity. Because every guy's like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, sexy? Oh, damn, you got a big ass. Oh, damn. Oh, can I, hey, slut, wanna have 4 kids together? That's what they're saying. I'm like, all right, because me personally, if I was a girl, I'd be like, even if I don't give this motherfucker no action, I'm curious. I'm going to find out. I'll block him after, but I'm going to find out. So I do that. And then I hit him with this, which I'm working on. This is not good. It's embarrassing, but I'll say it. I said, you look like an old soul, semicolon, to let him know that I know what's up punctuation, ladies out there. So I said, you look like an old soul and you're almost as cute as me. The reason I do that is because I don't want to pedestalize them, gentlemen. We'll talk about that later. The funny thing is, this girl hits me back with her Cash App. And so I respond, I say, do you want me to bless your Cash App? Question mark. And she says, big manly blessings only, no broke boys. And I say this, Father Lord, I ask that you bless this young woman's Cash App and wrap your arms around this woman's Cash App and grant it serenity, peace, and glory. Father God, I ask that you shine your light and heavenly eyes on this young queen's Cash App, Father God.
Oh my God.
I ask to make sure this woman's Cash App is always blessed in white, baby Jesus. Amen. So, gentlemen out there, if a girl hits you with the Snapchat, that's with the Cash App, that's how you respond. Chantel, first of all, tell me how I incorrectly butchered your name. And second of all,
You did pretty good. My name's Chantal.
awesome.
Yeah.
So, what's your take on a man's image and approach in 2024? And if you could also recount some of your best, worst experiences, most frequent experiences, because as a girl,
Okay.
you're letting us, you females are letting us behind, because as guys, we don't get approached. I've gotten approached twice in my life, and I get it. I'm not super big and strong. I'm not the world's most handsomest guy, but it's interesting to peel back the curtain. So yeah, what are some of the good ones you got in there?
Okay, well, I think more recently, and probably the last decade or so, like The Simpsons became pretty popular in the last like maybe 30 or 40 years. And I think that The Simpsons kind of depicts a man as a doofus, and that like he just like sits and drinks beer, and the girl actually like Marge or whatever. I didn't really watch too much of The Simpsons, but I think it's kind of like men don't have to really do too much anymore. Like women are not only controlling the household, they're usually the breadwinners. And honestly, like I have two sisters. One of my sisters was artificially inseminated to have her son. So she does not have a man in her life. And my other sister is a chemical engineer and like a manager of a water treatment plant, overseeing like multi-million dollar industry. And then she put her boyfriend, who now is her husband, through school and like paid for all of his schooling and everything.
Wow.
And like I'm an independent woman. Like, so it's like, I don't know. I just find like women are a lot more independent than they ever were in like, let's say 50, 60 years ago.
They definitely are. And wow, I mean, I've been getting, and we've had a few people on the panel the last few weeks and even today. And I have to say, DMA, we're kind of running into some of the exceptions of the rules here. I mean, some of you ladies are awesome. First of all, you guys are awesome. But let's follow up with you too. What are some of the best, worst, craziest pickup lines that you've ever gotten, and any tips or advice for people that would approach a female looking for a relationship?
Well, I do lingerie modeling, so I
You
do
do a
get a
lot of
lot.
what? You do what?
I do a lot of like lingerie modeling.
Oh, okay.
So I do get a lot of like, um, oh, you're an artist, okay, because I'm also a hip hop artist. So it's like, oh, you're an artist. Um, do you want to chill? Like, Netflix and chill. And it's like, let's go play pool and see if you're any good and if I can teach you something about pool. And
So you're looking to
and
take them
then
under the wing.
and then maybe we can uh move on from there, dinner or something. I'm not just gonna like go to your place when I meet you, like to meet
Yeah.
you. Like I'm not looking to get kidnapped and raped. Like that scares me to just think to like go to someone's place who I have no idea who they are.
Yeah, it's definitely different, and we'll talk about this. I want to get Jacqueline's take on all of this. Sorry, my white ass is like Jacqueline. Wow. Can I have? I'm so white. Oh my god. So yeah, we'll get to some of the why I think the reason is, and I'll get your take on that as well too. But it's definitely a different dynamic going on nowadays than it was back in the days. The roles were clearly defined. The man
Mhm.
worked, he went out and
Just
provided for the woman, and the woman gave her man sexual exclusivity and was at home raising the children. Obviously, as Bola pointed out quite astutely earlier, it obviously depends on your culture, the time period, and if it's a patriarchal versus matriarchal society or an anarchist society, which is my personal favorite. Yeah, Jacqueline, what's a man's image like in 2024? Does it help or hurt them? Best, worst, craziest, most frequent pickup lines, approaches in real life, and the DMs. Ooh, I can't hear you, sweetie. You're unmuted, but I cannot hear you. Give me a test 1 2. All right, maybe just jump out and come right back, and that should work. That always happens. I don't know why. I'm paying you, fool Streamyard. I'm paying you money. Gosh darn it all. So, DMA, what do you want to say in the meantime while we get her back on? Do you have anything to say about the answers that we just heard there?
Yeah, that was interesting. She said, "Oh, well, I don't want to go to your house. I don't know you," and that's very true. One thing that I think is important is if like a girl, like say it's first date or something like that, and somehow it's like if she's meeting at your house or something like that, what you can do is um, you get her and you say, "Hey, I'm still getting ready or something. Come in real quick and then we'll leave." And then so she comes into your house And so like she gets familiar with your house. You're not staying there and hanging out, but you want the house lit up. You don't want it like dark like a dungeon in there. You want it to feel welcoming.
Mhm.
And so she comes into your house and she sits on your couch or something like that, and you're doing something, and okay, let's go. And then that you can maybe kind of show her around like just for 5 minutes. You don't want it to be uncomfortable because it's kind of unknown for her. But then at the end of the date, now she's familiar with your house. So now like going to your house isn't like this weird, like unknown forbidden thing, right? Because
Mm.
she's been there. So it's kind of like something that's familiar. So she's more likely to want to come back to your house after she's already been there, even if it's just for 5 minutes.
Yeah, but I'd always want to meet in a public place first.
Right. I'm just saying, like, it's always good to get your girlfriend or girl you're dating to be somewhat familiar with your house if she just comes in even for a few minutes. It's kind of just like a social dynamic of just social psychology of what people respond to.
And I would add on to that too. Make sure you clean up your veiny dildos and takis from the floor because
Yeah.
I invited a lady over and she was like, "What is this big purple thing?" And I was like, "Excuse me, my eyes are up here." Right. So yeah, you want to keep yourself clean. And I would also recommend that for gentlemen also too. Like, yeah, sure, there's gonna be some girls that they're for the streets or whatever, and you're gonna want to just say, "Hey, whatever, cool, come through my crib." But if you're serious about dating a girl and you have good intentions with that girl and you want to have a relationship, ask her to meet you in public. It'd be at least somewhat gentlemanly. I'm not saying to be a cuck and to be, bowing down and, but also, you want to. It's just not. It's if you really want to date somebody. Honestly, if a girl comes to your house the first day, that's not somebody I would date or marry, anyways. Jacqueline, thank you. Let's see if we can hear you. Are you there with us?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Loud and clear. Awesome. All right,
All
cool.
right, perfect,
All
perfect.
right, so I'll ask the questions again. One, what's your take on men's image in 2024? Is it helping? Is it hurting them? Does it even make a difference? And then, what are some of the best, worst, craziest, and most frequent pickup lines that you've experienced in the digital and regular atmosphere?
Well, for one thing, I think it's just there's probably just needs to be a lot more like alignment and guidance for men. I feel like it's just been a misdirection, on what their role is and what their importance is on top of that.
What do you
And
think a man's role should be?
I mean, they have multiple roles, but the most important one is, to be protective, like not just of their own women, but of other women that's around them.
Yep.
Like if they see it, I feel like if you see something going on, it's like don't get in, like, but it's like no, you should the opposite, like help whoever's out there, whether no matter if you know them or not. It's important to be protective of all the women around you. And in other countries they don't have that issue. Children are safe, women are safe, and it's like somehow here that's a big issue of women being, feeling safe. And I
Totally.
feel like just men being like not strong, not just strong physically, like how you're saying, like I don't look this way, I'm not buff, I'm not this, but you can still protect, like you still have qualities that you can like amplify, and women will be grateful to you that, wow, he stepped up, he saw me, he saw that I felt afraid, he saw that I needed, someone to even walk me. Some women, I've heard stories of that they ask employees to walk them because they've noticed somebody
Mhm.
just being a little too close.
Absolutely. Yeah, I just want to don't get it twisted out there because I am single, lady. Yeah, I'm not the world's biggest, strongest guy, but there will, if I'm with a woman, I don't care if it's my mom, my grandma, a chick I'm taking on a date, I will give I will, that's my job. I will have to give my life. I'm not going to let anybody disrespect any woman that I'm with or any woman that I'm not with for that matter. I'm glad you made that distinction, Jacqueline, because yeah, nowadays people just watch crazy shit happen and don't do anything about it. One more piece of thing. We got somebody named Oscar backstage. I don't know who the hell Oscar is. I don't know anybody named Oscar in real life. So if you want to come up on the stream, you got to show your face so I can see who you are there, Bucko. And Jacqueline, let's follow up with you here. What are some of the best, worst, craziest, most frequent approaches and pickup lines you've gotten in the digital sphere as well as in real life?
That's my husband. He asked if he could watch the live, so I sent him the link.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know what? That's even better. That's even better. Let's add him on. I mean, and you guys, if you guys, or he can just sit there and back and watch too. Maybe
Yeah,
you could.
he's with the boys. He's got to,
Oh, okay. Well, maybe if it's up, it's cool. Maybe you could talk about his approach. What took him, what separated him from the rest of the pack, and then also if you want to give the audience some tips, some pointers, some advice on what makes a healthy, successful relationship, because it's not all sunshine.
Yeah, for sure. Well, his approach, we met during animal rights activism. You know, it was my first time getting back into it. And I
One
was
more
like,
question. I said I'm not going to interrupt, but I'm going to. Are y'all vegan?
yes.
Oh, me too, bitches. Let's go. Hell
Yeah.
I love you guys.
My children and I were vegetarian for a little bit. We had incorporated eggs, but we stopped doing that just because they had an allergic reaction, obviously, because, you know, the eggs, they don't feed them proper nutrition. So we're back on, you know, just vegan now.
Big fact. So yeah, talk about his approach if you'd like to, but even more importantly, let's talk about some of the things that are keys to having a successful relationship.
Well, I think the main thing, you know, for us, I think it's just mainly for me to allow him to lead, because it's so easy for me. And, you know, I just did a small trade, and I was a dental assistant for 10 years. You know, I went from general, and then I got into more like surgical stuff. So very bloody, gruesome stuff. So I was very hands-on. I would sit in procedures for like 8 hours. So it's easy for me. Like, I have tough skin. Nothing really scares me, grosses me out or whatever. So I had to learn to be more feminine, you know, and to allow him to lead, and to know that what I'm doing, raising my children and being at home and having that like kind of behind the scenes aspect, and, you know, still like helping him, you know, in a way that is more conducive for him to grow as a man. Like, I had to learn that, because it was just my mom with my 3 brothers. So there was a lot of masculine energy that my mom had to take over, just because she was the head of the house.
Yeah, what you said is so interesting, and I want to expand upon that, and I know DMA does. However, Bola, who is an author, a researcher, a lecturer, and incredibly awesome and smart, and she'll be coming on the show very soon to just profile her book and her experience. She has to go, so please, Bola, if you could promote your book 3 times. It's Daily Soul Bites book, Daily Soul Bites, B-Y, it's with a Y, it's bites. Daily Soul Bites book, Daily Soul Bites book, Daily Soul Bites book. If you could go ahead and promote that, let people know where they can find you. The links will be in the description. Thank you very much for coming. You definitely, I mean, even before I invited you on, you had already won me over. But today, I mean, you're exceptional, and I'll be purchasing your book. I hope everybody in the chat does the same. But any final thoughts, take as much time as you want, and please let people know how they can donate to you, purchase your book, and find out more information.
Thank you so much, Will. Thanks for having me. I did have some thoughts around our relationships, because I think it's really important what Jacqueline is saying. And this is about how she has come to understand her own self. You've come to understand what you love about yourself, and what what a relationship can offer to you. And you've spoken as an empowered being. And that is really key, I think. It's what sustains our relationships in the long term, when we understand our own selves and we know we want somebody that's leading. Another woman may not want that. And we're all individuals. And whatever it is that we have known ourselves to be, known ourselves to enjoy, that is good enough. That has to be good enough. I think that's so important. And this empowered perspective is really what my book, Daily Soul Bites, is about. I'm not sure if you can see it. So this is Daily Soul Bites. It's available anywhere online books are sold. And it's really sharing perspectives of the higher self. These are the empowering perspectives that allows us to reconnect to our true sense of being. A lot of the times we are acting as victims, and we think that the world is acting on us. But we are actually the ones that can decide the types of relationships we want, the types of food we want, the types of lifestyles we want, because we are consciousness itself. We are consciousness itself, jumping into different bodies. The bodies we were when we started this particular show is not the same. I sometimes wake up and I find a mark on myself, and I know that mark wasn't there before. We actually have different bodies, but we can come to really understand our true sense of being, and then we can enjoy the different lifestyles that we want. And this is why my book, I feel, will change lives. It will really enable people to align more to that true sense of self. Um, so yes, it is on Amazon and Google and Balboa Press, and the Kindle Select is actually on for a limited time. So you can actually get it on Kindle Unlimited for a short period of time. And my website, www.soulspacehealing.com, is where my programs and my energy healing practice can be found. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. I hope everyone goes and supports. The links will be in the description. Bolo, I mean, what a lovely, intelligent woman this person is. And I mean, if I hope my goal is to get rich enough one day so that I can just listen to Bola's audiobook to fall asleep, because she has the most amazing voice. She should be doing radio. My mom always said, "Hey, Will, you got a face for radio," and hey, suck it, I'm here on YouTube, Mom. But in all seriousness, yeah, Bola is an amazing person. I hope you guys all go out there and support. And hey, just to piggyback on what she said, we all wake up different. I mean, I woke up today with a couple bumps and rashes on me, and I was a little concerned. I went to the doctor. He said it's anal herpes. Okay, it was weird. I don't. He said, "Don't put hot dogs down there, buddy. You're vegan." Okay. In all seriousness, DMA Jacqueline, bye, Bola. Thank you very much. We'll be in touch with you soon. Jacqueline said something very interesting, and then Bola compounded upon that. She said, I let my man take the lead and I got into my feminine. DMA, I'm going to let you take the floor because anybody that doesn't know, I had kidney stones about 5 times. So I pee like every 15 minutes. I should just get like a bag to just pee. But I haven't. So I would like, DMA, your opinion on that. And if you could throw to the panelists and get your takes on that, whether they agree or disagree. And I'll be right back. I'm just going to run to the bathroom. Thank you, DMA. I love this guy. I'm just going to sit here and adore him. See these lashes? DMA, you're muted.
What was
DMA,
that
you're muted.
lady's website? Can you put the lady's website in the chat?
Yeah, as soon as I come back, yeah, who are my moderators? I haven't even paid attention to the chat. Sorry, guys, I love you. If you're just joining, like, share, and subscribe. We're on multiple platforms right now. Leave me a comment. It helps in the algorithm. Share this video. Geez, I mean, they deleted our first couple channels, and we're almost back at 20,000. We've got hundreds of millions of views on the internet, and we're not unboxing kittens here. We're rolling up our sleeves and doing cool stuff here, folks. So please like, share, and subscribe to the videos. I'm also going to be putting everybody's links in the description to this video. So I want you guys to check out Alexia. I mean, she's doing amazing work. She's helping these foster kids. And then we got Bola. I mean, cheese and crackers. She's like the Oracle from the Matrix squared, right? We got these amazing panelists, and I mean, I'm learning so much. So yeah, guys, all the links will be in the description. Please support. And when you do support these people on Cash App or the charity or the business, or subscribe to the YouTube channel, let them know that the Fake as Fall mics sent you, so that we know we're having an effect. So DMA, yeah, please, let's piggyback off of what Jacqueline and Bola just said, and I'll be right back. Thank you, sir. Still muted, Bucko. I'm gonna try to unmute you. Hold on.
There you go. I forgot I was muted. Is it Jacqueline or Jacqueline?
Jacqueline.
Oh, Jacqueline.
I go
Okay.
by Jack for short.
Depends how many drinks she has.
Yeah.
Jacqueline. Yeah, what you said actually really resonated with me. You said that you had to learn how to let your man lead, and I think that's really important. And like Bola said, there's someone for everyone, and there's a different dynamic for everyone. It's not one size shoe fits all. And but I think for the majority, that's really important. I think that's important for men too, is when women let the men lead. And like when the men lead, it's not that like the men are superior. It's that there's a leader and a follower, right? In every dynamic, there can't be two leaders, and that's a good thing too that you said, is that I had to let him lead. And that's the thing, is like, when, like, for me as a man, when I want to lead in the relationship, the woman is letting me lead. It's not like I'm coercing her into to being submissive to me. It's voluntary, because she is aligning with me, because she believes that I am the best selection for her to lead her and maybe the offspring or whatever into abundance. So I think that's really important, that that people do that and kind of realize that, there has to be a leader and a follower. And I think it's a good dynamic, because like what Bola was talking about earlier is duality, right? So we live in a 3D physical reality, which is dualistic by nature. So you have up and you have down, left, right, me, you, here, there, hot, cold. So everything has a duality, or as Einstein would say, the theory of relativity, right? One thing is always relative to the next. So you can't just go so far right that there's no more left. There's always going to be left. So to have that equal balance is really what helps relationships be strong, I believe. And it because you have the masculine energy and then the feminine energy, and together it creates this balance. So that really struck a chord with me. It's Chantal. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Chantal.
Chantal, what do you think
Yeah,
about that?
Chantal. I think that physical attraction and physicality plays a big role in someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with. But I think personality tops that.
What
And
do you
I
think about the
think,
leadership, though? There being a leader, like the men leading and the women follow.
I don't think that it needs to be like that. But okay, so I did a project when I was living in Ireland on gay marriage, and I was asking people outside of the library in Limerick um, what they believed about gay marriage and gay adoption, and people were not really for gay adoption, but they didn't really care too much for. They thought gay marriage is fine, but they just didn't think two women together could rear a child properly, or two men together could rear a child properly. But because I did my double major in history and sociology, and um, I found in studying about it that one does usually take on a more masculine role, and one takes on a more feminine role, even when it's two women or two men. So yeah, there are dynamics, I would say, but I think for me, I like things to be even. Like if he makes dinner, I do the dishes. Uh if I make dinner, he does the dishes. And if like I make dinner and he's like, I don't want to do the dishes, he better be giving me a massage while I'm doing the dishes. That's my
Right.
rule if I'm in a relationship with someone.
Right. Or I could just do the dishes. Either way, you're doing some work, right? You might as well just do the
Yeah.
dishes.
Yeah.
So,
So it's like,
uh,
I
wanted
don't
I
to
got
know.
you.
briefly, I wanted to briefly interject here. One, like, share, and subscribe. Let's see. We got Humble Apple Crumble. We got Augustine G. Let's get your questions in here from the chat. Make sure you're liking, sharing, subscribing. I'm gonna let DMA take back this back over control. I'm sorry for interrupting, but just a quick question to the ladies on the panel. Asking for a friend, definitely not me. Is cooties a deal breaker? Cooties, deal breaker, yes or no?
What?
Cooties, if you don't have your cootie shot, is cooties a deal breaker?
Because I got to the second circle and I didn't get the dot. That's what I'm
Right.
gonna. That's what I'm gonna start calling the. You know what? Don't say that word. This. If you know what this is, never say it on my channel. But that's what I'm gonna start calling it. You can get the circle in the circle, but unless you get the dot, you ain't fully boosted. All right, I'm shutting the hell up. And DMA continue, and I'm gonna fall back in line
Oh,
here.
yeah. I don't know. I
Did
don't know
we?
how
Did we
much you
get?
know.
Did we get? Adriana's take on and so the way I kind of alley-oop DMA is it the proper role that a man should lead? And I think that's what the line of questioning you were going with. Adriana,
Yeah.
would you agree or disagree with that assessment? I know she's got a whole bunch of stuff going on over there. Would you think that the man should lead in the relationship, or would you disagree with that premise?
Personally, growing up, I was raised with my grandparents, and they both took on the role more so because my grandma was in a wreck, so she wasn't really able to help a whole lot like she used to. So she helped maintain the household, and he would go to work. He would work long hours. He'd come home and he would help her. And if she didn't feel like cooking or she wasn't able to cook that night, he would cook and he would do the dishes. So he would clean as he would go. And then, of course, they would take turns. So like if he wasn't feeling good, she'd cook, she'd clean up the house, and then he would try to do what he could just around. Because I guess with me and how I view it, I honestly think that it. I feel like it's kind of both. I don't necessarily think that it should always be on a man to lead. I think it's because it is a partnership. Unfortunately, like if there is no communication, with one another, there's no way that a man is going to be able to lead without his woman giving him input and vice versa. Because, goodness, because unfortunately, like nowadays, again, women are so independent and guys just seem to be female made, where they're just like, oh, take care of me, pamper me, it's time for the roles to switch. And it's just like, okay, so what happened to, because everybody is so huge on the gender roles. Women used to take care of the household, or they need to take care of the household, and men need to work. And now it's like, oh, well, I don't want to work. I think it's a 50-50, and I think you should pay half the bills and I should pay half the bills, whether or not we have kids or whatever the case may be. So me, I think honestly, I'm pretty much for both, because you can't do one without the other. Because a relationship, a relationship is just, it's not going to work. Because
Do we got anybody that speaks Spanish here right now?
Sí, yo.
Okay, Jacqueline, can you translate this for me? Because dile, por favor.
Que cómo se abre un carro que se le quedó la llave adentro.
The
Ajá.
Say that again.
La llave se quedó adentro.
key inside.
Say again, Jacqueline.
Somebody left the key inside.
You left the key in your crib.
Sí, pero sí, que ellos no lo pueden abrir. Ellos no
You
pueden
can't, and she can't open her
Yeah,
house.
she can't open it.
Okay, cool. DMA, I'm gonna just open the door real quick, and
Yeah, I got it.
whatever thing we were just on, please continue.
Yeah, I think Adriana, that was a good point. It was like I guess it's like I said, it's not just like one size fits all, but like you were saying something about like, oh well, I'll cook, or your grandparents, you're saying like one will cook or the other cook. That's like taking share of the responsibilities. I don't think really that has much to do with leading. It's kind of a little bit different situation. Like, yeah, I believe that everyone should help with the tasks around the house, and like I do believe in gender roles. So I think like the guy should like take out the trash, or like I like to do stuff like clean the windshield when it snows, stuff like that, and like the woman like will do maybe more like, I don't know, like laundry or something like that, but everyone should be helping with those types of things. But like leading is more like what I mean, like, I guess taking the reins and kind of like, just like maybe like a manager would, like, or like delegating tasks, or
maybe use a basketball analogy, and the man is, if you're trying to use a basketball analogy, maybe the man's Kobe Bryant, and the other one's like who's a title,
like the point guard.
The
point guard, right? The point guard is there to facilitate, right? The point guard's not better than any of the other teammates, but it's kind of like the facilitator of the game.
Also not worse.
Also not worse. So that's kind of like what I was saying. Like, I think that it works best, and there's different dynamics. Like, there's actually a friend that I have where the woman is the leader and the man is like he's the submissive one, and that works for them. It just depends. But I think in the majority of the relationships, the man wants to lead, and the reason is because it's kind of like our natural instinct to lead. And so like if a man is in a relationship and he's not able to lead, if the woman is always trying to take the lead, what happens is then like the man feels emasculated, and it makes him feel like he doesn't really have any worth. And like that happens a lot with older men. Men actually commit suicide at a much further rate than unproportionate rate than women do. And a lot of men do that when they become old and they're in a walker and like they can't do anything really, and it's difficult for them to even just get around the house because they literally feel emasculated because they used to be able to like fix stuff and like protect the family, and that was like their role. They're the leader, right? But now like they can't do anything, and they feel like their life's pointless, and they end up offing themselves. So it's the same kind of thing when you're young and in a relationship. If the woman doesn't allow the man, and again, it's allowing, it's not coercing, it's allowing them to lead, they kind of just feel emasculated, like, what's my purpose here? That's kind of what my theory on, and this is for my personal opinion and from other men that I've spoken with.
Well,
What what do you think about that, Adriana?
um, okay. Um, yes, no, it definitely is because I've had my own personal experiences with men who wanted to lead but didn't know how to lead, and so it put me in my masculine femme to where it was like I had to show them how to do things, and a lot of them, a lot of them were just like I didn't really have a role model, or my dad really wasn't around, and just some of the other things that I guess like pretty much cut into their childhood. Um, but no, I do agree with you. It is that because men should be able to not just be able to provide and protect, because normally sometimes like I understand, especially with the newer age of females, they're just like, oh, but it's a man's job to provide. Okay, when he says that he's providing, that doesn't mean providing just financially. That also means providing mentally, emotionally, socially. He's got to be able to support you, in other ways that don't consist of just money, money, money. Oh, come here. Nope. Look at that stuff. Go.
Well, let me ask you a question. You said when you were in the position where you were forced to lead, did that make you actually hold on? Jacqueline, what's your thoughts on that leadership role? I mean, you already said that it was difficult for you to learn how to be more submissive. So what do you think about what the stuff that I was saying about men feeling emasculated if they're not really able to take that leadership role?
Yeah, I think it does kind of, strike a chord, like you said. Like then they're like, "What's my role? Like, what's my purpose in life?" And it's just as simple as like, like kind of asking your partner, "Hey, can you open this jar?" Like it's as simple as that. Little things like that. And like I like the example that you gave earlier, and which I've given that to my husband as well. I'm like, you're the boxer and I'm your coach. Like I don't want to do it, but I know how to do it, but I'd rather
Yeah.
you do it. I'd rather you take control of that situation. I'd rather you go into that ring versus me going in there. And on top of that, men get paid more realistically because in society it's still the man gets paid more because he is a provider. Like that doesn't change if women go to work or not. Like they're still like they still get paid more. Like yeah, do I think it's fair? Probably not, but men that are wealthy aren't looking for other women that are wealthy. Like
Yep, exactly.
or more. Like they're looking for somebody that's very soft, that's very gentle, fragile, like someone that's meant to be like taken care of, and they want to be, I want to take care of you. I want to conserve all that feminine energy, and I want to protect you.
Mhm.
And that is what gives them a sense of purpose.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. That's great. Like men will literally date women we call I've mentioned before survival and replication value, and women look for survival value, like that leader of men, masculine energy, able to provide, setting healthy boundaries, and then men look for replication value, which is like health indicators, youth indicators. So like you said, men aren't looking for a woman that's like a strong woman or like a bad bitch. Like they are looking for someone soft, and men will date down. Like men will date a woman that's at McDonald's. He doesn't care about that, and women typically, not all women, but they don't do that. They don't want a guy that works at McDonald's. So, and you said like something that was really great. You said sometimes just as simple as can you open this jar for me? And that really does give men like a sense of purpose. Like it really does make us feel good. And if you want a man, like let's say there's a man and like if the marriage is crap and it's a sexless marriage and the woman's the boss and like you could tell the man just like hates his life, but like he's in the marriage because for the kids or whatever. And if you ask that man, if you just go over there and you ask him, he's sitting on the couch watching his game or whatever, hey, my lawnmower's been messed up. Could you take a look at it? Can you show me how to fix this lawnmower? Like all of a sudden his eyes will just like go up and he'll be happy. Like if the child asked him that, or if the woman, even the wife said, hey, can you help me fix this lawnmower? Stuff like that he feels like, oh, he's important. He has value. I can help you fix this lawnmower really goes a long way. It's like validation.
Seriously, I mean, even small things like, oh my God, kill that spider.
Yeah.
Sure, let me just comb my chest here first.
Yeah. And I hate spiders.
I'm
I'm
not
not really.
I'm not a fan of spiders myself, but it's just like part of growing up with a penis. You got to deal with the spiders. I
Yeah.
didn't necessarily ask for it. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Adrian, I don't know if you're still there. I mean, I've heard a lot of different things tonight.
I'm here.
So, all right, let's go around the panel one more time. And before we do, Jacqueline, what would you like to promote today? How can people donate to you so you guys continue having an awesome marriage? And one other point I wanted to add before Jacqueline throws that out there is part of the reason why men are so emasculated right now and women are having to put on the roles of men and go out and be breadwinners is because of something called inflation, right? So, according to the U.S. Constitution, which I'm not a big fan of in the first place, yeah, that's right, I'm a voluntariist out there. The U.S. Constitution states, Section 1, Article 8, U.S. Congress has the right to coin, regulate, and value currency. Since 1913, the Federal Reserve, which is neither federal nor has any reserves, has illegally usurped that power and caused inflation to go up over 90%. So back in the day, my grandpa, he could just work and raise 8 kids. Now he'd have to work 2 or 3 jobs, get his wife to work another job, and then that's part of the reason because it would be easier for men to be protectors and providers if we only had to work one job. But now, honestly, men, if you're not working 60 hours a week, bare minimum, you're not a man. And it's unfortunate that we have to work at least that much. So it's unfortunate because it's like the men and the women have to each take up on another role upon themselves. So it's incredibly difficult. Jacqueline, what would you like to promote today? How can people help you out? What's your Cash App? And I'm not sure if you told us any spicy tidbits about advice on keeping a healthy relationship flowing. Because I had to take a pee.
Well, especially if you have children, like if your partner like helps you out versus like says like showers the children, brings you some ice cream at the end of the day, like those gets brownie points, and it all adds up. So just doing those little gestures, kind of to alleviate not so much as the pressure, but kind of the children, the care for the children, which is equal. He's not babysitting his children; he's doing his part.
Yep.
Which is equal. But what I like to promote, I'm in Katy, Texas, but I work surrounding Texas, like Houston, Texas area as well. What I do is I do vegan cakes. I do desserts.
Can you ship out to the East Coast for my birthday?
Maybe. Yeah. But that's mainly what I've been kind of focusing my energy on, plus like my children, but just trying to find that balance to where, it's fun and it's something that I love to do, but doesn't take away from my children. But I have a separate IG page, is Blossom HTX. You could follow me there. And if you're in the area, I would love to, make desserts, cakes, anything. I'm starting to get into sourdough, so eventually get that going in the future as well.
Cool. Well, that's awesome. And I want to thank you very much for joining us. I'm envious of the relationship you and your husband have. I think it's beautiful. I'm also more envious of the fact that I cannot order any vegan cakes yet. So, Jacqueline, I would love to talk to you and Oscar behind the scenes and help you out with the website. That's something that I do. And maybe we can get you shipping all across this country because selfishly, I want some vegan cakes because I'm vegan. It's not easy to get cakes around here. There's one dope ass vegan bakery, but they don't really have cakes. They have some other stuff out here. So yeah, Jacqueline, if you wouldn't mind sending that over to me, either in the private chat here or in a message, I will gladly update the description so that people will check that out. If you're in the Houston, uh, Texas area and you don't like consuming the tortured genetically modified souls of animals, hey, enjoy some cake with Jacqueline.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Jacqueline. I would love to invite you and Oscar to come up anytime on any Friday night. Fridays are our fun nights. And then also separately to talk about the stuff that you guys are going on, because I know you guys are both activists and do amazing things for the community. That's how I meet most people that are activists, and I'm kind of changing the gears of the show. So I appreciate you guys both coming on. Any final thoughts that you want to make? And again, yeah, you guys are always welcome. I'd love to have you guys both up on the stream again soon so we can talk about some of the more pertinent things. But yeah, Friday's the fun day, and you guys are always welcome on Friday fun days, both of y'all.
Can I address something, Jacqueline, to you? I forgot to mention. You said stuff about the wage gap, and that men make more money than women, and you don't necessarily think that's fair. And I agree with you 100% that men do make more money than women. So the last article I read, it was I think 78 cents women make for every dollar that a man makes. And although they do make more money, it's not for the reasons that like some people think, and that oh, they just want to pay women less because they're women. There's lots of contributing factors. It's kind of like when the Titanic sank. It's not just one thing, it's a combination of a whole bunch of things why it sank. And so one of the reasons is that women, when they go in for a job interview, they're less likely to negotiate their salary during the hiring process, and they're also less likely to ask for a raise. um, they're more likely to just kind of want to just work hard and hope they get noticed, and then they'll get the raise. And this is what I'm talking about, the masculine and feminine energy and the difference between the two. The masculine energy is the more assertive one, and they're more the ones that will try to negotiate. Another reason is because women oftentimes will take maternity leave when they have a child, right? And sometimes if the man is making
Selfish.
enough money, they'll
Selfish
stay
if you
off.
ask me.
They'll stay, yeah,
Selfish.
selfish. They'll stay not working for 5 years until the kid goes to school. So when they go back to the workforce, now they are 5 years less experienced than similarly aged males in their field. So of course they're going to make less money, right? They're also more likely to choose lower paying jobs. So like women look at the women dominated jobs. It's like teacher, social worker. Like these are jobs that typically make less. Men choose the more high paying jobs, engineers, doctors, construction jobs. Like these are the jobs that are more high paying that men choose, that a lot of times like women don't want to do construction jobs. Also, men are like 5 times more likely to work overtime than women are. So that's just a few of them. I read a whole article about it, and there's a whole bunch of reasons. And if it was if the case was that like CEOs, they just wanted to pay women less because they're women, like they're businessmen, right? Like why wouldn't they just hire all women and be like, oh, I'm gonna just hire all women so I can pay them 25 cents less, per for every man, or every dollar the man makes. So they think about it, they would save 25% of their labor. They save hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars sometimes, if that was the case. So just wanted to throw that out there. Maybe think you could actually look it up and research that, and probably read a lot of the same articles that I was, and on the reason why women make less money.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that the women have to be so selfish and take time out of work
I
just
know.
to nurse a child. It's very selfish.
Yeah,
Chantel,
it is.
first of all, I have to interrupt, but you look stunning. You've got an awesome jacket on. Can we get a fit check in the earrings, Chantel? Like, what are we got going on over
I'm
here?
going to like
Cool.
a fancy restaurant with my girlfriend. So
Dope. Okay, cool. They're looking fresh, man. I can appreciate it.
I did runway modeling in this dress before. So this
is that
someone
animal?
had made it for me.
Is it animal fur?
This one? No,
Yeah.
it's like faux fur. It's not real.
Okay, good. Because I'm vegan. You know what I'm saying? I hope
Yeah,
you didn't
exactly.
choke out a bunch of pink squirrels for that, because it looks lovely. I don't want to misrecommend it. So yeah, you guys are going to have an awesome time.
Thank you.
Chantel, because you popped out for a second there. Well, do you think it's the men's role to lead, or would you prefer to lead, or do you think it should be a 50-50 partnership?
I think it should be a 50-50 partnership, but I think like there's certain things that maybe people want to lead more. Like, for example, when a woman has a child, she breastfeeds and that kind of thing. So obviously, like, her role to be with the baby seems like she should be even more often with the baby than the man. But I don't agree with that. I think that they should both equally be with the baby as much as possible. And
I agree.
yeah.
Do you think this goes for the whole panel here? Do you guys think that there's any role that a man should have exclusively, and or is there a role that a female should have exclusively? Right? Like, so is there
Yeah.
some things that only a man should do, and there's some things that only a female should do?
Mm,
Uh,
how PG is this?
DMA, don't give it away. DMA, don't give it away.
okay.
Go ahead, Chantal. Sorry.
No, I'm saying how PG is this? Like, am I
Oh
able
yeah,
to say?
you could say whatever you want here. I mean, I just wouldn't talk about injections or like Bill Gates, but besides that, you're pretty much good. The two things I just said.
Yeah.
Yay.
And it didn't turn off, so no, but like I don't know, like some people want a more dominant partner in the bedroom, but like it's not necessary, but it depends on the dynamics because I
Yeah.
guess sometimes the
So
person that
what
you're
I'm
with is more submissive than the other.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I mean, I'm one of those people that I spend a good amount of time in the bedroom, and sure, you know, after 4 seconds it's ejaculation, the rest of it's crying, but I spend a lot of time in there, and I'm never thanked for that. But what I'm talking about here is more like, okay, so women say they want everything to be equal, right? But at the end of the day, Chantel, if you and I are having a hypothetical relationship and there's some goons at the door and they bust in with weapons, I don't expect us to be walking up face like shoulder to shoulder. I expect to be the guy in front and putting my life on the line.
I do Muay
That's
Thai,
what-
so I expect that I'm going to be kicking the shit out of the people.
Wow. You know, I will say this. It's so crazy because the people I've gotten on this panel today are like not only exceptions to the rule, but
We're against
exceptional
the rule.
Like, not only do I don't care if a
We're
man can
pushing
dig
the
in me,
boundaries.
but this is fascinating. And Chantel, let me ask you one more follow-up question briefly. Where are you from? Because you have a rather unique accent.
Well, I lived in Japan for a long time. I've lived in Ireland,
Whoa.
but I'm from Northern Ontario. But I
Ah,
live now in Toronto.
very cool.
But I
actually
speak Japanese, I speak French, I speak English.
cool. Not to brag,
Yeah.
but I speak Pig Latin and Ebonics. And I was actually saying earlier today, I mean, how amazing the people of Toronto are, with the exception of Celine Dion and Justin Trudeau and Justin Bieber. I mean, those people suck. But I mean, the people of Canada are so friendly. Whenever I go to Canada, there's no trash or gum on the sidewalks. And whenever I approach somebody asking for directions, or if I'm trying to hit on a girl, they'll just sit there and they'll just be like, no, you fool. You're way too disgusting for me. They wouldn't even say that. They'd be like, no, I would never give you my number. But they'll really stop and talk to you. The people of Canada are amazing and friendly. I love it. And you speak Japanese. Quite interesting, Chantal. We're gonna have to have you for another interview, or maybe a biopic documentary. It sounds like you could be a spy.
My IG is glam, GLAM, agent 28, AGENT 28.
Ooh,
I have 55 songs on all platforms. I'm a hip hop artist and I'm writing a novel. I have a lot of things going on.
All right, I'm going to ask you a few more follow-up questions. First of all, glam agent. Yeah, I thought you were a spy. Okay, what country are you from? Now, more important question than that: top 5 dead or alive hip hop MCs, and we're gonna go around the thing. Oscar, I hope you're listening to this one. I want Oscar to listen to this one.
The best ones that ever lived.
Yes, top 5 dead or alive from Chantel. You're a hip hop artist.
Okay, Snoop Dogg is probably my number one. I love Eminem. I grew up listening to Eminem all the time. I would say Tupac and Biggie. You have to add them. And Maybe I like Lotto, Big Lotto.
Wow. I'll tell you what, this is one of the more fun streams I've had because literally my lane is I like delve into unexpected shit, and this has been unexpected for me. Like I've never heard a top five like that in history, and that's interesting. And I'm gonna check out your music because those are. So, Chantel, if you wouldn't mind sending me over again all of your links, I'm gonna promote your music, your
Oh,
Instagram.
thank you.
That's the least I can do. And then when you come up, when you're dropping a project or anything like that, please come to me. I will
Thank
I'll
you.
promote the shit out of it, and I'll also put you on with other people too. To promote
Thank you. God bless you.
You're always
Thank you
welcome.
so much. Your name's Will. Thank you for
You can
having
call
me
me
on.
Will. You can call me Mike or Fake Mike, whatever you want. You can call me Shirley. Just don't call me late for dinner. Oscar,
Fraudulent Mike.
fraudulent Mike. You can call me the fraudulent Michael. That's if you want to. If I'm either in trouble or if it's fancy, fraudulent
Yeah.
Michael. It's one of those two. Oscar, top five dead or alive. What say you? You're muted, brother. What do you think? Who are the top five best MCs of all time? He's muted. Jacqueline, do you know what his favorite top five MCs are? You should know your man's musical taste.
Oh no, he
All right,
had
who's his,
he
who's
has
his
some
favorite?
old he has some old school taste, like old school,
We
like
like old school with like some Zapp and Roger or something like that. George Clinton.
What's old
yeah,
school to you, Jacqueline?
like more like. But it's just like songs in Spanish, music in Spanish. Like it's
Okay,
just
so are we talking about like old school like my boy Biko C? Are we talking about old school like Don Omar? Are we talking about older than that? Like what are we talking about? Are we
don't
talking
know más. Don't
Okay,
know más.
okay, okay.
Look, there he goes. He's got a
What's up, guys?
Yo,
What
Oscar,
up?
thanks for joining us, man.
Of
Congratulations on a successful. Yeah, so Biko C, is he the best of all time? And who are the in let's say reggaeton, Spanish rap, and American hip hop? Who are the top five all time?
Tego Calderon.
Okay,
Another one is Don Omar, of course, he's up there.
okay.
And then I like Wu-Tang Clan.
Ah, I love this man. I love this man.
And then
Don't get jealous, DMA.
who else? Shit. I like some Pink Floyd too.
Okay.
You know? So, and then I also like Korn. I don't know if y'all guys heard of Korn.
Yep.
Then I like some Beethoven, some classical music too.
Yeah.
It's hardcore,
That's
bro.
what's
He's
up.
hardcore.
So I like all around. I don't listen to one genre. I listen to like even different language musics. I listen to that too.
Seriously, I'll tell you what. Right now, Oscar, I have a crush. If you're watching, first of all, why are you watching this? But if you're watching, please, Baby Miko, aka Young Miko. I mean, I know she's lesbian. But I mean, she isn't. Let's see if we can. I'm gonna put Baby Miko up on screen right here. And guys at home, don't get any ideas. But yeah, Jacqueline, what about for you? I mean, Wu Tang. That's awesome. That's my boy right there for sure. Jacqueline, what's your go-to on music? What do you f with?
Kali Uchis has been that's something I listen to, like on
What is
replay. Kali Uchis.
Kali Uchis? That sounds familiar. I'm such an OG. I don't know what the hell that means. What is that?
Yeah, she has some old school, some new stuff.
Do you guys all see my girlfriend? In case you didn't realize, this is my girlfriend. Everyone, eyes and hands off. Look at, she's blowing a kiss only for me. Oh my goodness gracious. What a
I remember her from last time.
Hey, DMA, guys, darn it all. Oh, crackers. Oh man, this is why I can't have. That's why I shouldn't have put her on screen. Adriana, is there anybody better in the top five? Who are your top five? It doesn't have to be hip hop, but we'll throw hip hop in there too. Top five dead or alive musical artists. What you got for us, Adriana?
Yeah, that's a little hard. I grew up kind of listening to everything. So definitely for me, NWA, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, oh gosh, the Dayton Family.
Hey, dang.
What is it?
That's
What is
good
the last
taste.
one she said?
The Dayton
The
family.
Dayton Family.
What's that?
Man,
It's a group.
Yeah,
Are you,
that's a
are you
good
talking
one.
about like soul
They're
or
old
funk?
school. They're like 90s.
Oh,
Yeah, they're definitely
They're
they're old
gangster rap.
school. Yeah. Um, I mean, I even like reggae, Elephant Man, since I'm
I went to see him.
man.
with me being Samoan, I've listened to pretty much almost everything. Was brought up with a lot of different genre of music, like ST, Common Kings. We've got the Nisha Nine, Bob Marley, Ziggy Marley,
Bob Marley for sure.
and
Adriana,
definitely
it's funny
Kelly.
because I guarantee you there's nobody in the world that has been told to go to Somalia more than me, DMA, and you in this thing. And there's this explanation for that because since I'm an anarchist and so is DMA, they said, "Oh, why don't you go move to Somalia?" Well, gladly, gladly. I will. And John Eagle is up in. Oh my gosh, Davy Crockett is saying Justin Bieber, New Kids on the Block, Taylor Swift. Oh man, just kidding.
Oh, sorry, I'm gonna be late for my restaurant appointment if I don't go right now. But much love to everyone. Good vibes only, and God bless you guys.
Marcel, thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank
Enjoy.
you. Take care. Bye.
That was lovely, Chantal. I hope you guys all follow her. Where they're having the links in the description here. And now we'll go with the ladies here. Any final thoughts, Jacqueline, that you want to get out? Again, you and Oscar are welcome here anytime. Especially that, I mean, he was already welcome here, but then when he said Wu Tang's up in the top there, he didn't say Vico C, but he said Don Omar, and that's cool. Any final thoughts? And again, you guys are always welcome here on the stream. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
This has been a great experience. You know, it's good to see, you know, different point of views, and it's good that, you know, that there's a lot of, you know, truth in everything. You know, it's just everybody's life is different. So it's just like I choose to be with my children. You know, I had them both naturally. I never wanted to go to the hospital, never wanted a epidural. I wanted to feel everything, you know, just
Thank you.
right.
Thank you.
Like that's I just wanted to, you know, kind of just do the experience from A to Z, and like without being numb. And I think a lot of people kind of wanna steer away from that, but there's so many benefits towards like just leaning all the way in.
I
And
could
like,
not I could not agree with you more, Jacqueline. Thank you again so much. I really hope you enjoy your evening. And Jacqueline and her husband Oscar are raising some of the last what I created this term. It's called free range humans that are not genetically modified because I know they eat well. I know that that's something that take very seriously. I know they're not hitting them with the cootie shot, right? I know that's not happening. I know they're raising them well, and so human beings today, I mean, like we got chemicals in us, we got all sorts of stuff in it. So these like are like the last few actual humans. And so thank you so much. And it's people like you and Oscar that really help me sleep easier at night to see that you're out there and actually doing the right thing. I mean, who would have guessed doing something normal and natural is the right thing to do? So Jacqueline, thank you so much. Thank you, Oscar. I hope you guys nothing but the best. And again, you guys please support Jacqueline down in the comments. I'm going to throw it to Adriana here for any final comments or questions. Adriana, and how can people support you? What's your Cash App? How can folks donate to you? What would you like to promote today? And when are you going to do my hair, bro? What's up with that?
Oh wait, what?
I got to grow back a little bit and and I just noticed too. I noticed earlier your shirt says Adriana on it. How'd you get such a personalized shirt?
I actually did it for my daughter's first birthday. Because
so you gave a present to your daughter's first birthday for yourself?
No, me and all 7 siblings did personalized shirts. So we all had our names and we all had numbers. So because she's number 7, she's the last of them. We pretty much put all our names, and I put all their handprints pretty much on my shirt. And then I have mom on the back of my shirt, and then they all have older brother, big sister, middle sister, and so on and so forth. So that's pretty much
That's cool.
Very cool. Yeah, and I hope they put the handprints on when you guys weren't wearing them, unless you guys are down in West Virginia. Adriana, how can people support you? What's your Cash App? What would you like to promote today? And thank you very much for coming on the screen here.
Thank you for having me. Granted, it was so last minute, but it's okay. Honestly, right now, I don't think I have anything to promote. Um, just
What's your Cash App, bro?
I don't have Cash App.
What's your PayPal?
I don't have PayPal.
All right. Well, next time you come up, we're gonna. I'll tell you what. Everyone, it's my Cash App. It's in the description. Everyone donate to me, and maybe I'll give some to Adriana. Just kidding. Adriana, I really appreciate you coming on. I'll be talking with you in the future here, behind the scenes. Very much appreciate it. Let's see what that head looks like when you're all done, and well, let's finish up here with DMA because DMA is the bro, and I appreciate DMA. He's been like he's been the road dog with me recently, and I love how we complement each other with the red and blue.
Yeah.
I love it. We got the balance. So yeah, man, it's cool. We're gonna start. Like I told you, behind the scenes, it's been a hard pivot from confronting police and politicians to doing this, but I'm going to continue along this lines. Every week we end up having more and more success as doing that. We're going to continue up along that lines. Yeah, and DMA is the man. As DMA is somebody I truly admire. I said this before. For a while, I wasn't watching audits because I was doing audits and activism, and the last thing I could do is come home at night and watch cops effing other people. It really actually bothers me.
Yeah.
So I've got into DMA stuff, and I love audits, but frankly, I'm more impressed with his Empirical Miracle channel, which I've been delving into as well. And then yeah, anybody that doesn't know, DMA is he's a voluntarist like me. He knows pretty much everything that I'm talking about as well, and is more well versed on that. So Tommy, if you could do me a favor, bro, and put and DMA's Empirical Miracle channel out there in DMA. And DMA, any final thoughts? I mean, I think this was a rather fascinating stream because we had a bunch of different people, and quite frankly, I was not prepared for a lot of the answers. A lot of them were unexpected. What's your take on today's stream? How can people support you? Where can people find you? And any other final thoughts that you'd like to give the folks out there?
I thought it was definitely interesting too. It was not, and it seems like we get that, right? Like when we're doing these Friday night things, it's like the women that are up here are kind of not the typical women that you would expect, right? But it was interesting, and I would say that a lot of what the women said tonight, there's a difference between what women say they want and what they respond to. So I didn't really get to ask everyone clarifying questions, but it would be interesting to have someone up here again and kind of see like, well, you say that, but what if that really happened? Like, how would you feel about it? You know what I mean? So, but it was interesting. I had a good time up here. And yeah, I guess I'll just promote my Empirical Miracle. Thanks for shouting me out, dude. And actually, since I've been doing these Friday nights with you, bro, I've already gained like 20 subscribers or something. So I know that's from you because I haven't really posted any videos on there in quite a while. So
hey, that's awesome. Well,
yeah.
What about that? Fake Mike's actually having a play. And you know what we should do? We should do every Friday or whenever you're available. We should do the red and blue thing, where whatever color you're wearing that day, you should tell me, and I'll opposite because it looks great. It looks
awesome. Dude. All right, I'll do red next time. You do blue next time.
Whatever.
We'll be like the red and blue, like cop lights, dude, like pulling people over.
I'll just spin around in my chair.
Yeah, me too. Well, I got the red chair, so next time I'll be the red, dude, and you got to be the blue.
I'm gonna spray paint my chair blue, okay? It will be okay. So yeah, everybody that doesn't know, I'm an undercover crip. Okay, seriously. Yeah. So tell people about Empirical Miracle, Tommy, if you could put that in the chat, and what are they gonna find there on that channel? Because obviously you're world renowned for your audits and your activism, and I mean some of the speeches you give at city council is just. Bro, fire, bro. Like, because you. So yeah, so definitely check out the auditing and the activism channel. But tell people what they can expect when they go over and subscribe to the Empirical Miracle.
Yeah, I've been trying to like do some more of that kind of stuff, and I know it doesn't get as many views, but I mean, really, my ultimate goal with the activism has never been to do audits. It's something that I kind of just fell into, and
Yeah.
wanted to make a change. And I always wanted to use the auditing when I started to, grow as like to get my foot in the door to what I really want to do, which is more of like the Adam Kokesh stuff. And so like I really want to make a change, and that's why I'm starting to do like this public comment stuff, and I want to do something else besides just audits. You know what I mean? But I'm still doing audits. I know I haven't dropped any audits in a while, but I just want to touch base on that. Thank you for watching that stuff, man, because it's important. But like the empirical miracle stuff, it's traditional Zen spiritualism. It has it, but it's a whole bunch of stuff. It's the law of attraction, the immutable laws of the universe. We talk about soulmates, twin flames, how to attract abundance into your life. We talk about just social dynamics and stuff like that too. Sometimes, like we were talking about up here, like the what your purpose in life is, which is essentially from a 3D standpoint, is to survive and replicate. So we talk about all kinds of stuff like that. So if anything like that interests you, check it out. There's lots of good stuff up there. I actually was planning on doing a panel coming up hopefully soon with Good Guy Activism. So he's into spirituality too. So we're going to do a little collaboration. So there is some new content that's going to be coming up, but a lot of the stuff's kind of old. But it's not a very big channel, so you might probably haven't seen too much of it. So there is a lot of good information on there, and I kind of just basically came into my spiritual awakening by meeting my twin flame, and I explain all that stuff on there too. A lot of people probably don't even know what a twin flame is, but that's basically what it is. It's really just it's not really much like tarot, but I kind of am influenced by tarot. So, but yeah, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. Thanks.
Yeah, and big shout outs to Good Guy Audits. He's a good friend of mine behind the scenes. He's an amazing, amazing activist, and you know, he's just a dope dude. Honestly, the two people I allow on this stream that have testes are you and Good Guy Audits.
Well, because he's a model.
He's a male model,
model,
right?
yeah.
I mean, I mean, that's what it is. I mean, I'm only here because it's my show, but stay tuned, guys, because guess what? I know it's been difficult, but we're going to get more and more panelists up. We're going to have more and more females and some commenters up. We're really going to do this. This is going to be Fridays. I appreciate you believing in me, DMA, because at first, it's not an easy thing to do to transition to from one thing to a completely different dynamic, but we're going to do this. We're also going to be next Friday. We're going to have a magician come up. We're going to continue these conversations because I do truly feel that they're important. And so we're going to be building upon this. So again, guys, go subscribe to Denver Metro Audits. That's Denver Metro Audits, Denver Metro Audits. Let them know that the fakest of all Mikey sent you. Give him a comment that helps algorithmically, helps him grow. Because all it takes for triumph is for good men, women, trans, and people who do not identify or identify something else to do nothing. And I'm not having it. I'm doing something. I'm not going to bend over and put Vaseline on my poop hole so that these guys can continue to do what they want to do. I'm going to support DMA. I'm going to learn what's going on over there at Empirical Miracle. And I'm never going to give up. I'm going to keep doing the same things that I always do. And it's going to be without a teleprompter, without makeup. It's going to be a good old snapback and a fake mic.
6 points.
Bitches. Peace out.